Hello, all you crazy, crazy, crazy people who have decided to
Crazy
come by
motherfuckers.
and watch us do this wonderful thing that we do each and every year, which is help raise money for Extra Life. Now, you probably are wondering to yourself, what is Extra Life and why does it matter? I'll tell you why it matters. It's because there are a lot of sick kids that need help, and that is what we are doing here today. I am not a fast man. I am not a stamina-ness man in terms of like actual running or exercise. So I do not run marathons of physical strengths, but instead I run them with my leggies. And that is where we have ended up today, which is running marathons with our minds to help raise money for kids. So, to everybody in chat, if you, one thing that we recognize is that not everybody has a bunch of money to donate to Extra Life all the time. That makes sense. So, the first 150 or so followers that we get on this channel, we will donate money for you. So if this is your first time and you like what we're doing and you want to support us, but you don't know how, and you also want to support kids, then definitely go and check that out. Also, you know what else is great about that follow is that I am currently having a giveaway where you can receive Waterdeep Dragon Heist, a set of Waterdeep Dragon dice, which I actually have right here, which are super sweet. You can get a Xanathar's Guide to Everything. You can get a Mimic Dice Pouch. And all you need to do is follow the giveaway link in the chat that I will post right in here. So if you want to win stuff that way, you can. Otherwise, just hang out in chat. And at the top of every hour, our dear friend Dammit Barry has gifted us with enough Steam keys that we are just giving away a free game on Steam every hour. There are loads of them. So stick around, and we shall bequeath upon you these gifts. As you may notice in our layout, our dear friend Panda is currently MIA. I'm assuming that they probably continued sleeping like a regular person, like a normal person should. Oh man, Tishiru, thank you for the follow. Bwomp bwomp, bwompity bwomp. I'm going to write that down so that way I know how much money to donate, because we are doing a match for everybody during this channel. So I'm going to put follows 1. Thank you for the follow. That was very nice and kind of you, and you're a cool person. So I would say let us begin where things normally begin. At the beginning. So I'm going to get out my Discord message to the one that I sent you guys. And So, you guys are a pre-established adventuring group. And you are based out of the city of Neverwinter, the city of skilled hands, and have been contracted by one Hilda Mornshine to investigate why her shipments of wine from a vineyard east of Goldenfield has all but dried up. Thankfully, she has a backstock of the Summer Ruby number 3, but her customers are asking for a little variation as they can't afford the current selection or are tiring of the taste, and Hilda doesn't exactly know which is worse. Because of your reputations, she has offered each of you 500 gold pieces and a voucher for a year's worth of free wine as long as it is from her official retailers, which, as most D&D parties are very want to do, imagine how much money you could save by just having free wine for an entire year, especially for one such author, Salazar Edmonton. So, we are going to go around very quickly and describe our characters and kind of set the overall scene going into this adventure. So why not pick up with our novelist, one Salazar. So Keanu, introduce your character, please.
Hi, I'm Salazar Edmonton. You've possibly heard of me. I've written the
citywide, at least, famous series, Cold Iron Chronicles, and I'm currently writing the series, the Salazar Edmonton's Tall Tales for the discerning reader. Um, I venture around, doing my thing. I make money from my publishing company, and I write about my travels.
Alrighty. So, and you are a halfling bard, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Excellent. So, next up, we will go to Albergent. So, what has Madame Mornshine seen upon hiring you? How did you present yourself during the?
Albergine is a very quiet man, even more so because of the wooden mask in the shape of like a jackal. He stands at like 6'5", so very tall. Um, the art Panda drew was pretty spot on. Instead of like the vest and shirt of like a noble, it's more at this point tribal armor because he's gone some levels into barbarian.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But otherwise, you see a very imposing figure standing next to Salazar, battle axe on the back.
Nice. All right, and what do we see with Flamage, our tiefling friend?
Flamage is standing sort of in the back of the group, arms crossed, very blasé. Only there because he wants to be. He's blue with dark blue horns and white hair. Just has a look about him that's like, I don't want to be here.
Looks very tired, almost almost
like me.
Almost like they also woke up at an ungodly hour to help raise money for charity. And then our dear friend Panda is playing a kobold named Pam, and Pam is a little red kobold who likes punching stuff, as they are of the monk class, were they to be here to be able to play. So, let's get into it. So you guys are traveling from Neverwinter, and you are making your way to Goldenfield, and you know that it's going to be roughly I believe 5 or 6 days until you guys get there. So you're more trying to kind of understand where this lady is coming from, where Lady Mornshine is, what exactly her whole deal out of this is you know that this isn't necessarily her winery, but more of one that she has invested in. And as you guys are pulling up into town after this kind of lengthy journey on the road, where not a whole lot ended up happening after Lord Neverember became the ruler of Neverwinter. He actually spent a long time cleaning up the high road and the long road to make sure that they were safe for travel once more. So you guys have kind of been going through on those roads, just generally safer than trying to move your wagon or your cart through what would otherwise be a heavily forested area that would just seem not exactly the best. But as you guys pull into town, it is a large, there's a lot of farming land that is located around Goldenfield, and you would know from just from the general layout and kind of the general economy around that most vegetables and most produce actually comes from Goldenfield and is then redistributed elsewhere, as they are a large primary they are a primary generator for these fruit and vegetable based products. As you know that it has been said that there are a grove of dryads that help tend to all of the overall produce, so that's why it has a little bit extra, like the apples have an additional little shine to them, and all of the berries that you seem to get from there just seem to taste so much better and so much more such a much more vivid taste to them. And again, you guys have been traveling for 5 or 6 days now, and you finally arrive on the outskirts of Goldenfield, and you see that there's just this large wooden gate and fence that surrounds the town itself, allowing you, but they allow you passage in, as it seems to them anyways that this is just an average group of adventurers, and they definitely seem to be a little off-put by the wooden jackal mask, the tiefling that just doesn't seem to really want to be anybody, doesn't really want to have to deal with anybody, as well as this kobold who seems very cheery and very ready to talk to people. But they aren't really used to dealing with more of these monstrous races. But it turns out that the guard on post is actually a very avid reader, and upon seeing Salazar, doesn't even question that what you guys are coming to town for. He, if anything, leans in and asks, "So, when's the next book in the series coming out? I mean, like, I know you're working on it. I know, like, you don't want to pressure authors too much about the books that they're working on, because you don't want to. It'll be ready when it's ready, and it should be ready on your terms and not mine. But, like, for real, Salazar, can I call you Sal?"
Let me tell you a little secret. The next book, volume 22. It's called "It Came from the Swamp."
That sounds
Should be out next month.
Next month? That's so soon. I'm only halfway done with your current book. This is... Wow. Wow.
Do you have it with you?
Yeah, and he kind of like goes back and grabs this rather large tome and holds it out to you.
I sign it.
And he just says, "You guys can enter Terra free. Just welcome to Goldenfield." And he's kind of like admiring his book, and he holds it close to his chest. And it was a human guardsman, but he just seems to have really enjoyed the interaction that he had. And so you guys are led into town, and you can see going into this town that it is actually a larger sized, it's not a full city on the same scale that a town such as, or that a location such as Bryn Shandar, Neverwinter, Luskin would be. But Goldenfield does house a good, it has at least a good 200 people on a good season, and it can get anywhere up to 500, 650 people during the busy year when they actually have more people coming in to generate all of this produce. But they, you see that the road actually ends up leading you to what looks to be a bar, and on the outside you can see that there is the kind of hanging from this wooden sign is the symbol of Coralon that you would know, which is it looks to be a nice green field that has a sun kind of peeking over the side of it. And the bar itself the tavern itself is named the Rising Sun. And you guys go to this place, and it seems to also double as the stables for the town as well. As you set your cart there, set your horse there, and Pam says that she'll stay with the cart and with the horse to make sure that nobody ends up taking it from you guys. And so she's gonna go over and make sure that nothing, no funny business happens while you guys are out. But you three then exit this cart and go into the Rising Sun. And as you get inside of this building, you can see that there are people kind of spaced sporadically throughout. They don't seem to really be sticking to one side or the other, and it seems to be a relatively slower day. Where this bar could typically house anywhere from 25 to 30 people, it seems that there are maybe about 15. So there are actually open spaces for you guys to come and sit and kind of just enjoy a meal and a drink as well. if you would so like. And you can see that the bartender is a half orc who just kind of has a happy smile on his face, and he seems like he has the weathered skin of somebody who has worked outside for long periods of time. You can see that he does have decent sized muscles that also look like they are more from like throwing hay bales and doing a lot of manual and physical labor. But he seems to just be getting done cleaning a mug. And he sets it off on the edge of the bar next to several other cleaned mugs as well that are all resting on this large sheet of burlap, which you were assuming is just so that way it can collect the condensation from the mugs. But he seems to be going around just offering people drinks, offering people food. When he sees you three guys come in, he says, "You can sit anywhere if you'd like." And you can see that he just has a nice coiffed haircut that kind of comes from it just looks very nice, looks very well put together. Not exactly something that you would expect from a half orc in Neverwinter, but this guy does seem like he is trying to put on at least a proper business presentation for dealing with customers. So what would you guys like to do?
I'm gonna make my way up to the bar and lean on it. Ale.
Oh, all right. And what about you, my tiefling friend?
Do you have any sort of wine that would be higher quality?
Well, we do have some wine. We have some of the... Where did I write it down? But we have some of the Summer Ruby, number 3. If you're interested, that seems really... We have a backstock of some Dragon Crush. If you're interested, it is a little bit pricier. But that's also because that hasn't been really made in the last 100 years or so. But
let's not get too crazy.
How about this?
go.
You tell me a price, I'll give you a beverage.
Whatever gold will get me.
All right. Well, if it's a whole gold, it'll probably be the Summer Ruby.
All right. A clean glass, please. I have a very
clean.
sensitive system.
And so then he'll look at you, Salazar, and ask,
And what about you, small friend?
That's a good question. You see, I've been drinking mead for the last 3 books, and I'm really thinking it's about time I switched it up. What do you have in your ale department?
Well, we have quite a few ales. We have the Stone Drop that you could possibly have. There's there's one called the Citrus Mistress that one of our ale makers down the way has been working on. Then of course, are you looking for more of like an IPA kind of thing? Are you what is your flavor palette? What is your preference?
Honestly, the Citrus Mistress sounds salacious enough for me.
All right, so Citrus Mistress, Stone Drop, or no, not Stone Drop. Citrus Mistress, Summer Ruby, and then you did not specify what you wanted, but I'll just hook you up with the same thing unless you want something different.
Shrug.
and he then comes back after a couple of minutes and he sets you guys your drinks down in front of you and says,
It'll be 2 silver for the ales and 1 gold piece for the wine.
I pass it forward.
okay.
Do we want a corner booth or a center table?
I don't care. I just want to sit down. You've been traveling for so long.
Corner booth it is.
9 hells, you gotta work on your cardio.
I was in the car the whole time, but it's still exhausting to travel, and all you see is fields and fields and fields and fields and fields and fields. I want something interesting.
Well, you want something interesting. I've been mulling this over for a while now.
Yeah.
How ethical do you think it would be to resell our free wine?
Oh, well, I mean, I think that is a good business deal, but I don't know how profitable it would be because you'd have to do it one glass at a time.
Oh,
We
we're
get-
getting this by the glass? I didn't read the contract very closely.
I thought we were getting it by the bottle.
This is suddenly far worse.
I mean, you could probably use it as a opener if you ever see somebody you want to talk to.
Oh, yes, come down to the tavern with me. I have a free glass of wine for you.
Yeah,
Or you-
that'll
you
go
go
over
back.
super well.
No, you just like, what's it? In one of your fancy smancy romance portions, send that attractive thing a glass of wine. You know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean.
Your flirting abilities are impeccable as always, Al.
Listen. My flirting abilities are as good as.
As fire as your passion for revenge.
Write that down. That was good.
Of course it's good. I wrote it. He just goes back. So yeah, as you guys are kind of just enjoying your drinks, eventually you a human kind of like just sort of seems to look at you guys, just like you guys are talking kind of loud, and then recognizes Salazar. And so this guy ends up coming over, and you can see that he has kind of hastily cropped a straw blonde kind of hair. He has some scruff that doesn't seem like it's been properly attended to. He looks a little bit dirty, like he's been working in the field for a while. And he ends up coming over to the three of you guys, and he just says, well, I'll be darned. I never thought that I would see Salazar coming into town. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. And he like extends his hand out, looks down, wipes his hand on his pant leg, and then brings his hand back up.
Is there anywhere we can go where they don't know your smug face?
I enjoy it. Honestly, you can't take this from me. Hello there.
Well, I would just like to say, my name's Edmonton. My parents loved your work so much that they named me after you, sir.
That's impressive, being as... I'm not that old myself. How old are you, son?
Look, let's not get into specifics on this one. It just seemed like something that would make you happy. How old?
I am flattered.
How old are you, sir?
Rapidly aging, at least 39.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
They start young in this town, working in the fields. So I see.
Many hands, I guess.
Sometimes it just gets really hot and sweaty out in the fields, and then next thing you know, you're helping out a stable hand and things get a little out of hand. But that's totally fine. Welcome to Goldenfield.
Thank you.
Now, I
Was
know...
there something we could help you with?
Well, I was actually wondering... Oh, thank you for the bits, Solution. Thank you. Well, I was figuring that maybe, well, things just haven't really been right over at my farm. The rats are acting real funny and weird. And I was wondering if maybe, I mean, you're a man of the world. You seem well learned. I was wondering if you and your friends would be able to actually, possibly take a look at that for me. Worst case scenario, I mean, I'd love to have you come by the house. But best case scenario, who knows? Maybe you end up getting inspiration for your book.
I am always looking for new inspiration. This could be a clue towards something that we're looking for. Do we think it's worth checking out?
Yeah. We've got time, right?
We aren't meeting anyone here. In fact, do we even have a plan yet?
What was the plan again? It was to
Something
come out.
about what farm are we supposed to check out? Do you know
So
what
you guys
farm?
were
I think
you
we're
guys,
checking out the Edmonton farm.
Is that right?
at least for right now. You guys were never actually given that was hard to break accent for some reason. You guys were never actually given a farm location. You just know that it is one that is that was being contracted by Lady Mornshine.
Cool.
Maybe if we meet with some locals, they have a good idea what farm we're looking for. I think that this is a great opportunity. We'll do it.
Well, all right. Sure, thank you. Well, you can finish up your drinks, or have any food, if you like. I could also maybe see about fixing you some dinner or something after you come take a look at the whatever's going on with the animals in my yard.
Oh, I'm sure that would be absolutely lovely. We'll finish up our drinks and where's the farm? We'll meet you there.
Well, my farm is on the outside, just a little outside of town to the south. It's not a very big field, I will admit, but it, like we do our part. I help out around with other people as well. Help out with other farms. Used to help out with this one farm a couple weeks back, the one big winery around here, but haven't really been able to help for a while, and just seemed to turn everybody away recently. But you guys would come take a look at my house, I'd be more than willing to extend my hospitality.
That would be wonderful. Thank you.
You see Albert like lift part of his mask up to the lip and just start chugging the beer or ale.
You know what? I have met stranger folk with less strange habits, and I don't really feel too off put by this.
Thank you for monologuing what you're thinking in your head.
Look, Mama always said that if you have a thought, you should say it aloud before it disappears into that aether.
Thoughts are a limited resource. It's true.
You only get so many.
My mom always told me not to stare. Slam.
Well, that seems like a proper thing. Staring is rude. And he just sort of like looks down to the ground and tries to avert his gaze.
The smallest of chuckles.
And he goes over and goes to the bar and just seems to be talking to the bartender while you guys finish your drinks.
We have to deal with rats now.
This is more like the first book in a series than the 23rd, but we've killed rats before and we'll kill rats again.
It won't be the last time.
I don't like rats.
Where there's rats, there will be rat killers.
Look at it this way, Salazar. It's a slow burn.
Slow burn.
We can find out something about this winery.
Yeah.
Or what is the wine field called? Is it the winery?
We weren't given any real specifics about it. We were
It
just told.
sounds like Edmonton has a better idea, possibly, because he was helping out there. Maybe we can weasel some information out of him as we look into his rats.
Into his rat problem.
As you wish.
Alrighty. So, you guys end up making your way through town, and you're walking fast. Faces past, but you're homebound. And you're all being escorted by this fellow Edmonton. And it seems like Pam has once again just sort of, you go out and you see that they just have like this small bundle of hard-boiled eggs that they're just kind of nibbling on. And that sort of seems to be what their diet is currently. And when you let them know, like, hey, we're going over, gonna check out this person's house, Pam lets you know, as long as somebody stays on this cart, we don't have to pay a parking fee. We're currently just idling as far as anybody here knows, and just continues munching on this hard-boiled egg.
Can I make an insight check onto this guy because I've been burned before by NPCs?
Sure.
Sure.
What? No. Not a single NPC I have ever made has burned you guys.
Blatant fucking liar.
No, you guys were burned on him, but he did not burn you. There's a difference.
Oh god, he had to pull out the book.
There is.
This is just getting ready.
In Goldenfield, they call the rising
I
sun.
promise you, these rolls mean nothing.
Yeah, these rolls mean just roll because. So you're inciting this Edmonton fellow?
Yes.
Alrighty. What was your insight check?
Human. 11.
Alright. He seems like a very simple boy.
Simple in the head.
Yeah, he looks like it's one of those things where, like, when he was monologuing, it looked more like he was actually just like, if I don't say my thoughts aloud, they might disappear forever. Like, he just does not seem like he has it all 110% going on upstairs. But
Lovely.
let me see about this. I need to get this ready for later for no reason.
Oh god.
Yeah, so thanks, Graybeard.
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 But yeah, so you guys end up like getting to Edmonton's house. And it looks like a rather nice single-story house. It doesn't look like has a whole lot going on, and you can see that off to the side of this building there is a small stone structure that you would know to be that would probably have a door that would lead to a pantry underneath the house. And that sort of seems to be set up. And the time that you guys are here is roughly late summer, early fall. Not a lot of the leaves have started to really change over, but it seems like people are more beginning to rotate their crops, or at least gain the benefits of having rotated their crops. So there's a lot of eggplants that have been kind of gathered. There are cherries that have been picked from the local orchards. And it seems like just in general there is a lot of possibility in terms of actual revenue to be gained from the variety of produce. And you can kind of see why Goldenfield has stuck around for as long as it has. And normally where you would expect plants to be potentially dying off, it seems like they are being invigorated almost as if the world itself is refusing to let go of the powers of spring and summer through as it begins transitioning into fall and later in the year. And you expect that might have something to do with that story that you've heard about the druids, or the dryads, but who knows? If you'd like, you guys can make a history check about the city to find out more.
Find out more. All right, kitten. Don't. Let's just let my dice be. Okay. Good girl. History?
Yes.
That is a 9.
Okay.
22.
So
I'm not rolling.
9, a 22. Alrighty.
I've gotten distracted on this walk. I'm very in my own head.
Wait,
What?
Sir Lucian,
You-
before
straight-
you head out, we are having our first game code giveaway at the top of the hour. So, I'm going to look at who is in chat right now. And then if you are here, if you are one of these awesome people, I will send you a game code. So, who's here? We got at the top of the list for me is Blessed Be. So Blessed Be, you have won a prize. And
Hey.
you want to know what that prize actually is, Blessed Be? That is going to be a thing from Barry. And that is, you have won Titan Quest Anniversary Edition on Steam. So I am going to copy this code and I will send it to you. Post haste. So, Blessed Be, I've seen you in the chats before. So let me click on your name and then I can give you a thing. At least
As Connor would say, bless.
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 Blessed Be.
Guys, remember, take a drink every time you roll.
Blessed Be, I can't select you unless you post something in chat, which I thought that you had. Like at the very beginning. There it is.
Select him? I can select him.
There we go. Whispers are delayable. That is why. Okay, so I need to pop chat back in to
Semantics.
Semantics or
So-
some antics?
Okay, there we go. Whisper. I couldn't whisper in the pop-out chat. So, Shazang! There you go. Ka-chow, you have won yourself a copy of Titan Quest Anniversary Edition, thanks to Dammit Barry. So, when you get the chance to thank him, you can be sure to do so, or you can just say, Dammit Barry, why, as most of us do, when we are playing with that lovely man.
Or just at him on Twitter at dammit Barry.
He would love it. At him all the time. Thanks. That's awesome. Well, hey, guess what? You're awesome because you're sticking with us in our first hour of the stream. So, you guys have rolled a history check to find out more about the history of Golden Field, and in doing so, you do believe that this entire general area is fueled by nature magics. As you have heard stories and you have kind of corroborated on those stories with other people in your free time, resulting in this knowledge, at least for you, Salazar, as you love finding those salacious tales and seeing if they're true or not. No,
I got the 9.
bullocks. Punting.
I got the 22.
So actually,
nature magic or I don't care.
Actually, that works just as well. In that our druid friend would be the one who would know more about the nature magics coursing through this general area. But then it's a matter of, do you care really? Who knows? Maybe it's bringing up some old wounds that you have.
It is a grassland.
Yeah.
Favorite trade.
So you guys end up following Edmonton for about 15 minutes. Until you guys get to his house, and he opens up the doors for you and welcomes you in, and he lets you know that this is his place. He's worked very hard and saved up all of the money that he could over a period of time to actually be able to have enough to afford this building. And he said that the previous owner had moved out and gone to Triboar. And left him the place, and so he was very thankful. And he asks if there's is there anything that you guys would like? I have a couple jars of preserves I could probably pull out. Maybe some toast and bread. I know that we were just at the tavern, and their food and drink is pretty good. But I have a few things that are lying around that I could probably throw together for you.
I will have salted pork, a handful of cherries, fresh would be nice, and a glass of wine if you have it. And I sit down, make
Okay.
myself extremely comfortable.
Well, I don't know. I might have some salted pork. He does. Yep. And what about you? fellow that I'm not supposed to stare at directly.
Just show me where the rats are.
Well, they're currently down in the cellar, or at least that's where they seem to frequent. But yeah, this way. What about you, Salazar? The cherries and everything else like that is down in the food stores as well.
Honestly, I'm interested in these rats in the cellar. It's been a long time since I've seen a rat in the cellar.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys are taken into. He takes you around the back of the house to again just this under pantry entry. Who followed? Thanks, blessed be. Thank you once again.
Bless.
Bless. So that is 2 follows that we will donate. So currently we have raised $2 for Extra Life for people.
Actually, $4.
$4. I was thinking if we each donated 1 per, because I'm doing 50, you're doing 50, Connor's doing 50, we can hit the first 150 people.
Yeah.
If they decide. Otherwise, we'll still work it out. Because we are donating $1 for every new follower that we get on this channel during this time, because we understand financial struggles.
And on my page, I have just recently this morning reached my goal of $100.
Dang.
Thanks to you, Graybeard,
Oh.
capping it off. No, he didn't donate at all. This is the cap. But thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys. You're all rad, and we appreciate you. Okay,
All right,
so
we're going in this goddamn basement.
into this gosh dang basement. So yeah, you guys end up going into this basement, and as you are looking around, it feels very it has like a comfortable coolness to it, as you guys are currently in a subterranean environment during this time, but you can start hearing a little bit of scritching and a little bit of moving around, and I'd like you guys to make perception checks as you continue to hear movement around you.
18.
All right, so 18.
I rolled a natural 1.
I swear to gods, if these rats are man size. 15.
Ugh.
Boy howdy yeehaw, thank you for the follow.
Woo! Wait, that's the name?
Yeah,
Is that the
that
name?
is his name, is Boy Howdy Yeehaw.
Man, you came at the wrong time. You should come back in like a few hours for a while.
No, stay.
Yeah, come by at any time during today, and we will be playing games for you and the kids. Mostly the kids, but also for you. So we had a 18, Salazar, what'd you get?
15.
15, and then a nat 1. So, with your nat 1, you don't really notice anything. Did you follow them down into the bottom area, or did you actually
Reluctantly.
Okay, so yeah, you're more just like kind of rolling your eyes and not really wanting to be bothered a whole lot by this rat problem. What's the big deal here?
Pork, man.
You were promised pork. And then Salazar and Albergent, looking around, you guys see that there are rats that just sort of seem to be on these shelves, but they aren't like scurrying around. They seem very oddly and eerily calm, as they are just kind of standing on the shelf, and some of them just sort of seem to be looking directly at you. And Salazar, that's what you notice with this 15, that there are all of these tiny forms that are just placed throughout these shelving units that are all just sort of looking back down at you. But it is actually you, Albergent, who notices that it seems like these rats, there is some weird consistent malformity with them, or maybe they suffered some sort of trauma. But it almost looks like the top part of their head has been removed to expose a brain. And most of these rats all just have this brain showing, and they seem to move and form as one. And then that is when you get, you just get a good look at these little guys. But you end up hearing in your guys' heads just these tiny little voices that speak as a large unit. And it says, "We hunger so."
Is Edmonton?
Yeah, and he is like, his eyes are wide, and he just looks at him, kind of like squints a little bit.
We don't
Just-
gotta clean up after ourselves, do we?
Man, there is just something awful weird with these rats. He just
Wow,
seems like genuinely
that?
perplexed.
Oh,
Did
God.
did you two hear the rat speak?
Was that a rat?
Wait, are you saying rats are talking to you?
Why don't you go upstairs and get tea ready?
Okay, and he just like grabs a jar of preserves from the side. But as he goes to grab out at it, you see one of these rats just like quickly start like trying to slap his hand away, and you guys hear the phrase "We hunger" as they begin slapping his hand, and him just like, what the hell? See, this
Doesn't
is
matter
why-
if this. Sorry.
This is why I thought that you guys would probably be the best ones to ask about this, because I have no idea why these rats are acting this way. He is too simple to hear.
Yes,
We
know
are
that.
hungry.
All right, you two, get back. Aubergine walks forward, and he's like peeling off his mask.
And Edmonton is just kind of like holding his hand, and he's walking back up out of the pantry.
I pull my hand crossbow out.
Doesn't
I-
matter.
I-
What do you hunger? What do you hunger for, rats?
Food. Home.
It doesn't. Really?
belonging.
It's gonna suck.
Do you have food?
How much food are you talking?
Much food.
Are you normal rat hungry or are you magic rat hungry?
And you
Have a
see all
Snickers.
of them kind of like look at each other. Normal rat hungry.
All right, magic rat hungry. Got it.
Where did you learn to speak in our heads?
We simply needed to remove part of our own skulls.
You did this yourself?
No,
Oh.
we were
Who did
blessed.
it? Oh. By whom?
They kind of like look at each other and then look back at you and just kind of give little shrugs.
If we could find you a nice little place to live with access to food and water and all this stuff.
There is food and water here.
Well, this is someone else's home and you are trespassing.
This is our home. We live here. And you can see now that many of them have kind of climbed down from these shelving units. So now that they are on this ground, and you can see that there are a solid 4 swarms of them that all just sort of seem to have been grouped up and are all just sort of looking at you with this one older looking rat that has this piece of skull removing that seems to be the one that is addressing you directly, while the others just more follow in with the chorus.
Well, I don't want to advocate for murdering the first intelligent rodents I've ever found. They do look like they're grouping up.
Should
Intelligent or not, they'll burn all the same.
how much like do we want to like thunderwave this situation, or we kind of keep this on the down low because I don't have a lot that is going to be like quiet.
Oh,
I think as long as we don't destroy Edmonton's house above us, we should be fine.
But right.
Alrighty. So what's the play?
I'm going to use both my actions to rage and enter my radiant consumption.
Oh shit, I don't know what that is, but let's roll for initiative.
Sick.
I'm going to use Pax dice.
Pax.
Yes, this dice has done me well so far. It is the dice that I got for pre-ordering going to PAX
The big
Unplugged.
boy.
Big boy.
It's an aluminum dice, so it rolls really well actually.
Damn boy, he thick.
Oh Lord, he coming. And then we have so we have Salazar, then we have Flamage, and then we also have Al. So what did you guys get for your initiatives?
16.
Okay.
19.
Okay. And Salazar. 4.
4.
Got it. The stuff of legend. Yeah, so
Light on my feet.
alrighty, so first off is going to be the surprise round of Al, and then we will go to the top of initiative. As you have, what is your Holy Radiance thing do?
So basically, radiant consumption is an ability for Scourge Azamar, and once per long rest, as an action, I can radiate bright light in a 10-foot radius, and a dim light for 20 feet after that for 1 minute or until I end it as a bonus action. Once per turn, I can deal an extra 7 radiant damage to one target, and I also do 4 radiant damage in a radius to myself and every single creature around me,
Okay.
which combined with my rage, Path of the Storm Herald, Desert,
That's amazing. Do it.
I deal an extra 3. What's this? Fuck. 1 second. Yes, my Storm Aura deals 3 extra damage. I don't know what it is. Desert's fire, isn't it? Yeah. Cool.
It's a heat wave,
It's a heat wave.
but it's a dry heat.
That's my entire action. I deal 7 damage to these rat swarms, 3 fire, 4 radiant.
Okay. Sounds good. They are all very upset by this.
I also deal 4 damage to myself, which is cool because then
And then also to your party members, correct?
I waded into the middle of them.
Oh, okay. Got it.
That's the conversation they're talking. Albergy's just like walking forward, peeling his mask off.
Okay, sounds good. So then next up is Flamage at the top of the round. And you've seen Albergine do as he has done many, many, many times, which is wade directly into the middle of battle. And then I'm assuming like the Dragon Ball Z power stance as just a wave of holy and fire energy just sort of ripple out from him.
Right, I would like to. I will take out my. Oh, I don't. What was my? Sorry, character moment. What was my divine focus, or my not divine focus? Oh, I have a totem. Okay. So I pull out the totem from my necklace and I cast fairy fire with a blase.
Just glitter.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So they need to make a dex save.
Okay. Sounds good. So, do they all need to make dex saves? Just a group?
If
It's
it
a radius,
fails
isn't
its
it?
dex saving throw,
Or-
are there swarms?
Yes, they are multiple swarms.
No, they all need to make individual. No, I think you can do it in groups.
Okay. Sounds
The
good.
14.
So, 2 of those groups will save. 1 of those groups does not.
Okie dokie. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it, and they are outlined in a blue, like a periwinkle blue light.
Oh, I like it. Yeah.
Oh, that's sweet.
Oh. Yeah, so they are now outlined in this. Two of these swarms are outlined with this periwinkle blue, and you can see that it looks more like when you select a swarm style unit in like a RTS game, where you can see that there are multiple assets moving, but it's all just one large circle around them.
Yeah.
Fucking zerglings.
Yeah, little zerglings.
And I'm gonna back up onto the stairs, and lean it on the board or the handrail.
Okay, sounds good. So I've posted a link to our standard giveaway in chat if you are interested. So you have done that. Next up is one of these groups, which is very upset that this thing they assumed human up until you like did a flash burst around you, but you see one of these swarms of rats is not pleased with you, Albergine, but that doesn't matter because they rolled really poorly.
They could hit. I have no armor.
They got a 7 to hit.
Never mind.
Yeah, no, they rolled really poorly. That is totally a-okay. So then next up is actually you.
Ooh, yeah. Albergine smiles, reaches behind his back, pulls out his great axe, cuts his arm with it, and it sparks into electricity.
Oh my god. Okay.
I forget how edgy you are every time, and I love it.
It's one of those things normally you have to add a little bit of edge to characters as you're writing them, but with Albergine you have to tone it back to make it sound believable.
No one's gonna believe that he has lightning blood. They aren't gonna buy it.
He explodes in light and fire and has lightning blood. What the fuck?
The editor has denied your request to include Aubergine in your stories.
And in another swift motion, spins around and brings the axe down.
Okay.
I should also edit this so that I lose max health. Oh wait, no, that's too much max health. 72. Cool. So I'm gonna attack the swarm. Sorry. Too much shit. Hold on. Why didn't I do this earlier? 18?
Yeah, 18 will definitely hit.
1d12.
1d12.
Oh shit. Hold on. I forgot how much fucking. Alright. Hold on.
Boy howdy, Yeehaw says so much edge, this character must be an anime anti-hero.
Actually,
though?
Actually, though. And then features. Where's my fucking.
You'd be surprised. He's actually a big softy.
Oh wait, are you the really like edgy anime character who has a big sweet tooth? Is that the redeeming quality?
Shut up. We haven't gotten past that yet.
Figured it out. Nailed it.
Wait, where's my. How much damage do I do with my Crimson Right? 1d4. Cool. Where's my d4s? I should have fucking. Sorry. Apologies. That's not a d4. Where are my pointy boys?
The pointy one.
You need to find. You need to find a dice that looks like if you had like 8 of them and threw them behind you, or like you were driving like the Mach 5, there would be a button to just spew them behind you to trip up other racers.
Okay, Steven.
Yes.
This is gonna be a doozy.
Okay.
So it's gonna be 7 points of slashing.
Okay.
7 points of radiant.
Okay.
4 points of lightning. for a total of 18.
All right. So that is actually what you needed to just destroy this entire swarm of rats. So you just bring your axe through in one very easy, clean, fell swoop, and you manage to just drive it through, almost like in the same way that Guts from Berserk has been seen just like killing multiple ghosts in a single swing. This is you, but with a bunch of rats that already had their brains exposed, and you just splatter them. And you can see that as their bodies hit the ground, the electricity is still kind of like zapping in between them. And you see one of them kind of like twitches as a little spark goes into the next one, but it hits that one in its open skull, which causes its body to spasm a little bit, as your electricity seems to be targeting their nerves.
There's a very dark moment where the twitching happens. Like, oh, and 4 radiant damage to everything.
Okay. Sounds good. So then next up are 2 more of these swarms, and they do not like what you have done to them, so they are going to attack you. The sword clang extremely loud to its own instance. Oh! That is a natural
Can I
20.
use cutting words as a reaction?
On a natural 20?
As your reaction, I rolled for 2 attacks, so I'll just have both of these be from your cutting words. What do you say to trip up these rats? What are your cutting words?
And he's gone.
You are muted. I cannot hear you.
I have to be on the window to use push to talk, but my dice roll across the room.
Oh no.
I'm like, no. You see, he has to be cool enough to not get hit this whole battle. So you need to stop that right now.
All right. The other dice rolled was a 17 with an additional +2, so 19 to hit.
I reduced the first one by 13.
Oh, by 13. Okay, so yeah, then the first nat 20. I thought it would pose disadvantage. My bad. So the nat 20 disappears as you use your cutting words, but then the follow-up hit is going to be for 19. So 19 hits Albergin, and you are going to take... That is 11 points of piercing damage as these rats all begin biting into you.
Was that round down to 6 or 5?
You would round down to 5.
Okay.
Yes, it would be a solid 5. Can my winnings be donated instead of me winning them? Yes.
Yes.
I would say yes, blessed be. We will put that back into the raffle pile, and we will also donate money in your cause.
Blessed be, more like MVP.
Oh, shit. Alrighty, so that was it for that rat's turn. There would be another swarm of rats, but they are all dead. So, Salazar, it is your turn.
I thought I just explicitly told you not to hit him, and I level my crossbow at the group of rats that managed to land a hit.
Okay. All right.
That is a 13.
13 does indeed hit the swarm of rats. Roll for damage.
3.
Okay. So they take some damage, but you see your crossbow bolt hits about 2 of them rather than taking out like an entire swarm like you saw your anti-hero friend do.
I'm helping, I promise.
So next up is going to be Flamage.
Figure out what I want to do, what my character would do, because I could just cast Thunderwave, but I am going to sorry if you can hear my cat going behind me. I'm going to no, I'm not gonna do that. There's 1 or 2 swarms left.
There are currently 3 swarms left.
Oh shit. Okay. I'll take if there's one close enough, I'll take a swing with my getting to my equipment or my actions is what I want. My sickle. Because I'm also edgelord.
Yeah.
Edgiest
party.
Try to attack it with my sickle.
Okay.
Cause yeah. Well, that's a 9.
9. Okay, a 9 does not hit. So you go to bring your sickle down, almost like a mining pick onto a solid chunk of rock, and you see these rats just scatter out of the way as it comes down to try and actually peck at them. It's almost like they're used to avoiding pecking style motions from birds.
Pecking order.
It's pecking order.
And I just go.
Sounds good. So next up is another one of these swarms, and they are going to bite out at Albergent. That does not do anything for them. They tried. Next up is Al.
Gonna wind up and slam my axe down on one that hasn't been hit yet. 16 plus. Oh no, it's yeah. 21.
Okay. 21 hits. Roll for that there damage.
Max 12 plus 2 is 14 plus 7.
All right. So again, with this anime style flourish, you just see another grouping of rats just entirely dissipate as you play golf with them. With like an entire swarm at a time, basically.
There's just something great about being a barbarian.
Right. And then do you still do radiant damage at the end of your turn?
Yep, I can't stop it unless I do a bonus action.
Okay.
Oh shit, is Flamel in range?
Yeah.
Because, oh no. Yeah.
It's all right.
I'll take.
You guys.
Yeah, I'll take 4.
You guys are beefy. Yeah, so they are these rats are looking very, very few, and you can see that they're kind of in this position now where like you've backed them up, or at least trapped them in this cellar and are just going to town. So that was Al's turn. Next up is going to be 2 of these groups. And one of these groups is going to they're actually both going to target you again, Al, as you are the one who has been just wrecking, just like laying through these guys, no problem. So you get one of them to hit against you, which deals 6 points of piercing damage, reduced to 3 because raging. And that seems to be all that they can do, is just to give you a bunch of bites and nibbles. So then next up is going to be Sal. Sal and Al. Yes.
I take another haphazard shot at the same group of rats.
Okay.
And that's going to be 22.
Yeah, 22 hits. Roll for damage.
Another 3. And then with my bonus action, I look over at Al and I'm like, do a sick twist on this one. It'll really give you the follow through.
Gonna bardic inspiration him.
You get bardic inspiration.
Nice. I like it. So then next up is actually Flamage yet again.
I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Flame Blade. You invoke a fiery blade in your free hand. The blade is similar in size and shape to a scimitar, and it lasts for the duration. If you let go of the blade, it disappears. Ooh. All right, so I'm going to do some hand signals and then pull the blade out.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would like to use my action to make an attack with the fiery blade.
Do it.
Nope, I'm going to use you. You're my favorite. Sorry. I got a dice.
Oh,
16 to hit.
Okay, 16 definitely hits. Roll for damage.
Okay, that's 3d6.
jeez.
Ooh. Oof a doof. What is going to happen with this one?
That's
The basement catches fire.
yeah, right. That's what I was trying to avoid. 13 damage.
Okay. Yeah, you bring your blade across, and as a sickle is typically a harvest weapon and is used, or a harvest tool and is used for getting large collections of things all in one fell swoop. This feels very natural to you as you bring it down across these rats, and just as if they were a collection of hay getting ready to be cut, you just drive your sickle right through it as you see all of these rats just fall down. And now there is only a small half swarm of rats left that you guys have encountered. Which, Al, it is your turn.
Yeah, just gonna spin it around, up and over. Oh, thank God. Oh yeah, that's 23.
Okay, 23 hits.
That's 20 points of damage.
Okay. Sounds good. It never stood a chance. Yeah, so you just have waded through all of these rats. And now you guys are standing in this cellar. The smell of freshly electrified and burning rat kind of filling the chamber, as it kind of has that sickly burning hair smell to it just from the nature of your guys' attacks. But you do manage to properly you manage to actually clear out this cellar, and you don't see any more movement or anything else going on.
Albert's gonna wade over to where Flamage is, glower down at him, just go, "You know you're not supposed to run in," and then just like bap him over the head and heal him 7 points.
Oh, I didn't take any damage. I took.
Yeah, you
4
did.
damage. Oh,
You
from
took a bunch. Yeah, you took a bunch of radiant damage from me.
Didn't you say it was 4? How much?
It was
did you...
4. It's fine.
Okay.
It would have been 2 turns of 4 though, because where
So that's
Oh,
8.
okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. My apologies. I did not want to break everything, so I thought that maybe getting closer would be better.
I mean, Edmonton's not here. You could just blame it on the rats.
I'm standing right here. Wait, no, you're right. The other one.
No, I call you Salazar.
That is your name, right?
Don't wear it out.
I think you do that yourself, but all right. Let us get some salted pork and some wine, and maybe he'll let us stay here tonight so that we don't have to pay for the inn. I would like to milk this, is what I am saying.
I think I could get us the room at the inn for free if we really needed to. But if we want to sleep on this man's floor, I
Oh,
won't.
no. I do not sleep on floors.
I
I
do.
don't know if this man has a guest bedroom.
Mm.
Well, 3 of them.
Well, see, this is why I like traveling with you, Salazar. I don't have to pay for things. I don't have to worry about where I'm going to stay. And you have good stories, I guess.
Oh, I appreciate it. You flatter me so.
And you guys are having this conversation as you exit out of this pantry and come back up, and Edmonton is you see that he's made some tea and kind of set out some cups and just, well, you know, I heard kind of a ruckus happening downstairs. I'm glad to see y'all look generally okay though. What did you end up finding out what was wrong with those weird rats?
We did not ask them.
They had some issues. They were looking into developing a revolution.
You're gonna need a broom.
But they're not so sentient anymore.
Wait, sentient? That sounds ridiculous.
I
if they
wouldn't
were-
worry about it. You'll just need to clean them up.
Huh. Well, that's fine with me. Here, I'll go down and get you guys your food. Kind of check out the general place of it downstairs. I'll be right back though. And like you hear him leave the house, and then go down into the cellar below, and you just hear this, "Oh my God!" As he's just sort of like shocked at the viscera that you guys have left in your wake. And he ends up collecting all of the food and beverages that you guys had previously requested, and ends up coming up. And he makes you a pretty decent meal. In Flamage, you end up getting your salted pork, your wine, your fresh cherries. He even pulls out some peach reserves that he had from the year prior, and he offers to share them with you guys as well. And he seems generally pretty open with just talking to you guys and getting a general understanding of the situation as a whole. And he's more than willing to share with you any information if you would like to get any.
So, Edmonton, tell us about this winery you were working at before it shut down, stopped accepting workers. What was the situation?
So, they call themselves, they called it the Morning Glory Winery, and it was the pride and joy of surrounding parts. And about 4 weeks ago, I was walking home from the tavern, and there was a big light in the sky, and I heard a ruckus off to the side, but I didn't really go and investigate it. I was kind of in my cups at the time and just wanted to get home. And then the next day, they just started telling people not to come into work. And it seemed kind of weird. And then a few people got kind of your types, adventurers, they come on through. They went out, looked for the winery, and we just haven't really seen them since. So I'm not really sure. It might be that they're posted up there or something else. But yeah, there just doesn't seem to be much production coming out of the winery these days.
Who owns the winery?
Well, that would be Mr. Ford.
With a J?
No, not with a J. We're too far south for that kind of spelling, miss.
I'm a man.
I know. That was just a slip of the tongue. Slip of the narrative tongue. But yeah, he owned the Morning Glory Winery, and he was a pretty nice guy. It's always seemed kind of weird that, doesn't want people working for him. It seemed like a lucrative business.
And does he live at the winery or somewhere else?
No, he lived at the winery. It was mostly a winery on the bottom layer of this place. It was a 2-story building, and the second story was where he would actually stay, and that's where his residence was.
Sounds like we need to visit this winery. Mysterious flashes of light, disappearing adventurers. Sounds ripe for content.
You think that's maybe what? If this story ends up making it into one of your books, can I have brown hair?
It's already noted.
Oh, you're just the absolute best. My parents were right. And he seems generally happy with the outcome of things, and he makes sure that you guys have all of the comforts that you could possibly want. And then when it comes time for the night to start winding down, he lets you know that he'd be more than ecstatic if you guys actually stayed at his place, but he understands that he doesn't have any guest beds or anything like that. He has a few bedrolls that he could lay out onto the floor. But overall, he understands the necessity of creature comforts. So you guys then make your way. I'm assuming you're going back to the tavern. Yeah, so you guys make it back to the tavern, and you can see that Pam has just passed out in the driver's section of your carriage, just on their back, and you can see that there are a few hard-boiled eggs on their tummy that just sort of seem to be rising and falling as they have this egg-induced sleep that they seem to be enjoying, and they have previously. It's still a weird food choice, but kobolds, you don't really want to bring anything up, or else it might get out of hand.
Just gonna sweep the eggs off her, rummage in the back, and pull out a blanket and drape it.
Okay. And you see them just like little clawed hands over the blanket and just curls in to go to sleep. And you guys make it into the rising sun. And while you were there, the bartender ends up giving you guys free room and board. As part of Salazar's as part of his retinue, you guys are treated very well. So whatever drinks or foods that you want overnight, you totally can. And it seems like you can have access to. And it seems like this bar as a whole has actually kind of filled out, where normally there were about 15 people in there prior. There seems to be about 20-25 people in there now, and they're all just sort of talking amongst themselves. And the bar is very, very crowded, but there is still room for you guys to actually find a little 3-person, like a small side booth that could fit 3 people. So what are you guys looking to turn in for the night, or are you looking to talk to any of the other people within the town?
I personally would like to get my beauty rest and go at the interviewing nice and fresh tomorrow.
We are not on a time limit, so I think that would be a good idea.
Well, see, here's the problem with that. In the morning, they're going to be out working the field.
Ugh. That is a good point.
We don't have any idea whether this winery is operating or not, so we may be fine there.
But there are other places that they are working, yes?
I don't know. We're new to this town. I suppose maybe this is information we should be asking.
I'm going to motion to like someone at the table next to us, and just through my pencil, like motion for them to come over to our table.
Okay.
Just
They were in the middle of a conversation, but it seems to have just come to a stopping point where like both parties were in the middle of taking drinks. And you motioned for this guy to come over. You beckon to come, and he seems to get what you're trying to put across. So he comes over and sits down at the table and just, can I help you at all?
Beg your pardon, sir. We are
This seems to be a halfling with a Sam Elliott style mustache. Like it's just this thick bristle. Just, is there anything I can help you with?
Yes, sir. We are here in town to investigate the problems at the winery. We don't know anything about anything, so maybe you can help us figure out what is going on.
Well, I don't really know much about what's going on at the winery other than people used to come there and then stop. People used to go there and then stop coming back. That was about 3 weeks ago now. They all just sort of stopped going, stopped investigating. I mean, if people keep disappearing, why are we just throwing them into a void, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But
sorry, does this town have like a Crown's Guard sort of thing?
No, this town, they seem to have had members of the, of the 10 towns, like Lord's Alliance members, but they don't really seem to be, very prominent here. Like there's only a handful, mostly because Goldenfield is one of these locations that has such a solid understanding of what it is as far as its community and as far as what its surrounding area is, that most people don't really come to Goldenfield to start trouble. So you know that there would be like a handful of guards, but not like a heavily defendable area that's always at risk from the north kind of deal.
Right. Okay. Shall I continue? I had a moment in my own head.
No, that's all right. Well, about 3 weeks ago, just started acting funny. The owner just told people quit coming in for work, and then the wine stopped, so people got curious and went out to investigate, and I ain't seen some of them since.
And what do you know about this owner, gentleman? Has he been seen since?
Not particularly. He wasn't exactly the most forward-facing public official or anything like that. He was a business owner, liked to keep to himself mostly. But I mean, we'd still at least see him in the bar every once in a while, touting his wares and making sure that people got their shipments.
What kind of person was he? Was he a human or
He was a human.
older, younger? Any descriptions that you could give would be
He
fabulous.
was I think he just got done with his 45th year. White hair, little crow's feet on his eyes. Happy man. Never really had a problem. He lived out here, and I think he came in from Triboar a while ago and decided to strike gold here. Well, as far as wine and gold are concerned.
Right. And does he live at the farm? The winery?
He did, yeah. I haven't seen him in a while. I assume he's okay and that he still lives out there, but...
Yes, right. That is all my questions. Do either of you have any questions for this fine gentleman?
How many people have disappeared out there?
Well, probably say 7 or 8.
And are all these locals, or have some of them come in from out of town?
Some of them come in from out of town. We had a few people investigating why the wine stopped, and, well, sent a small party of adventurers out into there. It was about 3 of them, and we had three of our town guards go and investigate, and then they never came back. And then 2 locals went out there looking for work, even after they had been told not to, and haven't seen them either.
All right, I'm keeping account here of who we should look out for.
Yeah, you got probably good 8 missing. But you have any other questions?
Do you know anything about experimentation on animals? Any
The
odds
fuck?
findings? I mean, no, I'm saying like we have come across some rats that have part of their skull missing. So, any other similar type things? Animals found dead in the woods with odd kill markings, that sort of stuff.
Oh. Not that I have seen, particularly anyways. As far as animals out in the woods, I mean, we have noticed that some of the vermin around town have been getting a little bit more aggressive with against their dogs and cats. Other than that, I haven't really noticed much of anything else weird with the wildlife.
Alright, that is all I have. You feel
Yeah.
wonderful. I slide him a gold.
Oh, thank you.
For your time and your drink, sir.
He just kind of raises his glass towards you and takes the gold and walks off. Goes back to sitting with his friend and just having idle conversation.
I love throwing around gold at peasants as an adventurer. This is nothing for me, but a month's wages for you. Don't worry about it.
Right?
This is probably more you'll ever see in a lifetime.
This might have been yours once, but I took it from some goblins.
I think that is enough investigation for the night. Shall we turn in?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm gonna lean over to the other guys. Hey, where exactly is that estate?
Well, that's gonna be found in the out east. It's only about a mile outside of town. You really can't miss it. It's a pretty large building.
We'll take the wagon.
Sounds good. Again, thank you.
He just, like, kind of admiring this gold piece that has been thrown at him. And is that where you guys are turning in for the evening? Alrighty, and I think that is where we are going to go to our first of what we will assume to be mini breaks for this Extra Life as we try and make it 24 hours through tabletop RPGs. So I want to say thank you to all of these amazing new followers and amazing new friends that are joining us for this adventure, and I can't wait to keep doing more great stuff. And then when we come back, we're going to have another Steam Key giveaway. This time, what are we going to be giving away this time?
Moon Hunters.
Moon Hunters, a game that RJ and I and Reeves have all played together. It's a super fun game. And, well, we say all played together, but networking was a serious issue. But
Played is a strong word.
We did one level together.
all right, but we will see you guys shortly. So don't go no place, but grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend. All right.
At 3.
Hello, all of you weary, tired travelers and adventurers, and welcome back to our. I was gonna say another episode of Indoor Adventures, but this isn't an episode. This is a lifestyle. So welcome. We're gonna start things off at the top of this with announcing the winner of our giveaway for Moon Hunters. So you're gonna press that at button. Boy howdy yeehaw! You have now won a copy of Moon Hunters. I will send you the humble gift receipt or the gift key link. So thank you for coming by, boy howdy yeehaw, and being rad and hanging out in chat as we make our way through this long and arduous adventure. There, I have whispered you the message, but it would seem I know that previously our other dear listener, Blessed Be, chose to opt out of receiving the prize and instead wanted for it to be donated. So I am going to possibly extend that range as well, which is, if you would like, you can either give our players a bane or a boon, or you can accept a prize of a Steam game. So if you want something either really good or really bad to happen, then you can do that. Or if you want video games, we can give you video games. But I've sent you the link to your prize. So I'll leave it up to you. If you want bane or boon, post in the chat and let me know. Otherwise, enjoy Moon Hunters. I also wanted to say thank you to PFC William Hudson for the follow. You helped raise more money for Extra Life people by being rad and also entered to win a giveaway, which is also rad. So we have left off with you guys getting a good night's sleep at the tavern, and then waking up the next day to essentially get back on track for investigating what has happened at this winery. So you have gone outside and you have seen that Pam is currently hurriedly talking with some of the guards that had come over and kind of like they had come over at the discretion of the carriage house, and Pam is quickly saying, no, I wasn't sleeping. We were idling. It's fine. I was in the cart the whole time. And is trying to really fast talk their way out of receiving a citation for not having paid to use the cart storage facility. And that seems to go over about as well as you would expect it to. And you see that Pam kind of like slouches their head forward, hands off 2 gold pieces as recompense for having stayed overnight without having paid before, and you guys are now on your way to the winery. And
I would like to give Pam 2 of my own gold as I'm paid for travel.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, so you end up paying this. Yes, RJ.
I was just like, Pam, if you see the guards coming, just drive off and then come back.
Well, I was asleep. I got really warm in this blanket that somebody put on me.
Oh. Steps away.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, you step away from that situation, but as the cart begins kind of pulling along, you guys hop into the back of it and make your way to the Morning Glory bar right at day's break. And there's a pretty decent fog that seems to have come around you guys over the night, as it seems like yesterday being very warm, and then over the previous evening being very cold, kind of warming up again. A lot of that condensation from the ground is kind of rising off in these steam-like clouds that just sort of surround you guys as you make your way forward. And you are going down the road about a mile, and that's when you see that there is a signpost that's been planted into the ground with one sign that says Vineyard pointing down a pathway from the road, and then you would know that the road otherwise would just continue onward forward. So you turn off onto this Vineyard road, making your way down to the area where you had assumed these problems had come from. And as you guys are making your way, you see that there are some people actually still out in the vineyard, but they and their hands are moving, and that you see them working. But I would like for you guys to make perception checks as you ride in.
16.
Okay.
Natural 1.
$19.
Okay. So the 16 and the 19, you guys notice that it looks like where Albergen, you see them, and it looks like everybody's working like pretty hard at work. You don't understand why people are saying that like nobody's been like making wine from this building in quite some time. But the other 2 of you notice that it looks like they are more performing the muscle memory of it, where you see these people just like putting their hands against grapes and then setting their hands back down to a bucket that's on the ground, but they don't actually seem to be going through with the action fully. And as your cart continues on the path, as Pam hasn't really noticed this either, you guys actually start seeing that after you pass these groups, these workers will then stop, put their hands down to their sides, and just sort of stand in these fields.
Is anyone getting a large necromancy vibe here?
That is what I was thinking, yes.
They're just hard at work.
Can I start preparing ritual detect magic?
Yes.
I don't like this. I don't like necromancy as much as I don't like getting dirty.
That's a strong thing there.
Why do you travel with us then? We're always dirty.
Because you get to...
Excuse me.
No, you are always dirty.
You are always dirty.
Well, excuse me for not being pristine all the time, as I'm the one wading into the front line in gore and viscera.
Look,
And that is
I
why we keep
appreciate
you
that
around.
about you.
So yeah, you guys end up getting brought to. You guys end up getting kind of continuing on down this road, and it seems like this road actually leads for about 3/4 of a mile before it's the end of these vineyards, and you can see roughly about 300 feet in front of you that there is just this large stone building that looks like it's 2 stories tall, about 100 feet long, 120 feet long, and about 50 feet wide, that you would know to be the winery that you were looking for. But as you approach, you see that that 3 of these workers have actually come into the middle of the road and are just standing there blocking your guys' progress. And looking behind you, you can see that these other workers that were working the fields that all had stopped moving once you guys had passed had all actually from that point began to converge back onto the road from the vineyard fields and are making their way down towards you guys as well.
Al, you may want to have your axe in hand.
It's always... What?
I mean actively, like not on your back.
And I would like for you guys to make perception checks again.
15.
Okay. 3.
I keep rolling what you say, and that's 18.
Okay. Alrighty. So the 15 and the 18, you guys notice that these workers all seem to have what look to be serrations on the back of their heads, and it looks like there are little divots, and you can see that there are some spots where dried blood has come out. But upon further inspection, it looks like they have had part of their skull either cracked in or opened at some point. But you can't really get a better look at that from where you guys are. But you see that one of these workers actually standing in front of you is wearing what looks to be guard's armor. And it just raises its hand towards you in a fashion that you believe would stipulate it saying halt.
Should we keep going? I mean, these aren't really people, right?
Have I had time to prep that detect magic?
Yes.
I would like to point it at these guard boys.
Okay. So you do not get a sense of necromancy on this. But instead, what you get is slight traces of enchantment and abjuration.
Well, these aren't undead specifically, from what I can tell. They are faintly abjuration that maybe blocking out some sort of self-control mental facility. I don't know. This is mostly conjecture.
Am I sticking my axe in his head or not?
Let's wait to be explicitly attacked.
And you see that there were about 5 workers that were coming from behind you guys. And they get up onto your cart, and you can see that they all have these lacerations on the back of their head as well. And they actually begin to kind of reach up and try and reach out towards you guys. In a very grabbing fashion.
Fortune favors the bold, and then swing down.
Oh my god. All right, let's roll some initiative.
I don't like to be touched. Please don't touch me.
Look, I don't know you well enough yet.
Ooh. I got a 1.
Flamage is just be like, no, please, no.
Please, I
Oh
cannot.
god, it's so gross.
No,
I don't want this. Thank you. Your hands are so dirty.
please refrain from touching me.
You
That's
are
agree.
a nasty man, and I want none of this.
Yeah.
I used to be able to do a French accent. I'll think about it.
Alrighty.
Orale.
Invasion of the Body Snatcher style. That is what Taishiru has said in chat.
Oh my god. Wait, where is it?
I don't like zombies.
Summer Ruby 3 is people! People!
Oh my god. Okay, so what was your guys' initiative? So
16.
we have I had a huge brain fart on what your characters' names were, but luckily that is why we have them written down. So Flamage got 3, and then Al got what?
16.
Okay, and then what did Salazar get?
20.
20? Okay, sounds good.
I
So
can read lips.
Al, you are going to be going on a surprise round as you have just pulled out your axe and swung it down at one of these individuals that was reaching up to try and reach out at you.
So on criticals, we roll twice, right?
Yes, you roll twice as many dice.
Jesus fucking Christ. That's sorry. Plus 4, so 22.
Holy shit! 22, you say?
Yeah, I rolled a 12 and a 5, and then a 2 for no. Never mind. It's a 17. I'm not raging.
Okay. So what we have here. So this was one of these kind of unarmored individuals. So what did you roll to hit?
Oh, it was a natural 20.
Oh, yeah. Okay, sorry. And then damage was what?
17.
Okie dokie. So he looks grievously injured, but he is still standing.
Huh.
So,
Hardy fucks, aren't you?
and it seems like the damage that you deal onto him, where normally you would expect there to be a very large recoil back, they just sort of seem to take this damage and not really emote much pain or anything like that. So that was your surprise round. So then we are going to go to the top with Sal.
Well, they're not undead, so I sure hope this works. And I turn around and look at the guards and I say, "Guard, help me!" And I cast Crown of Madness.
Okay. Sounds good. So he needs to make a wisdom save, which he fails. So it just looks at you and you see it like put its hand on its chest in acknowledgement that, yes, I am doing my civic duty. Alrighty. So we're going to say that is that guy. All right, so that was your turn. Next up is one of these armored fellows that you had seen come from the group that had previously been working out in the field. So it is going to strike out against Al, as it's very scared of him. And how does a 19 to hit look?
Only just.
Okay, and you will take 4 points of bludgeoning damage, or slashing damage, as it kind of hits you with this. It's like a machete that they were using in the field that it just had brought with it. So that is its turn. Next turn, you see that there is just this crown on one of these other armored individuals that has then that you had seen kind of like swear allegiance to your friend Salazar, and then it looks over at the knight that just did a damage, and it is going to strike out against it. And I do not believe that will hit. And these creatures are not making much in terms of noise. Yes. So yeah, they fail to make contact on that strike. So next up is going to be sorry. Next up is going to be another one of these more field handy individuals, and they're going to try and make a grapple against Salazar as they try and like reach up and pull you down.
Cutting words as a reaction.
So this is contested checks. They aren't making an attack roll against you.
Gotcha.
So they got a 20 on their athletics, so you can either try and dodge out of the way with an athletics or an acrobatics check.
I have one of those. That's a nat 20 for 25.
Woo, shit. Yeah, so he tries to go up and grab you, and it looks like it's going to be very close. But you kind of like put your boot out against his face and push him away and let him know that there is a fee when talking to a celebrity. You have to pay the con fee to actually like go up and do the meet and greet. Like you can't just reach out and touch people. So yeah, that was its turn.
A lock of my hair costs money.
So next up, it is Al.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Gonna plant my foot on the face of the guy who just hit me and like use it to jump off the cart.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna bonus action rage.
Ah.
Bah! And then I'm gonna hit the guy
Okay.
with mine axe. That is a 17.
Okay. Sounds good. 17 hits.
Okay. Ooh, so that's 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Is there anything special that happens? No. 13 points of damage.
Okay. Sounds good. And you are attacking one of these more like commoner looking folks, or are you attacking the guard looking ones?
The guard who hit me.
Okay, so the guard who hit you, you did 13.
Right.
So he goes there. All right, sounds good.
And everyone else takes 3 lightning. 3 fire, sorry.
Okay. Sounds good. So, I believe that also affects your party members when you go into your rage.
If they are close enough.
Yeah, which they are.
Sorry!
So, Salazar, I would like for you to make a concentration check to maintain your spell after you take the fire damage. So that is a Constitution saving throw, and then you're just trying to beat a 10.
You're muted.
Dang it! I switched tabs. I rolled 18 on dice.
Okay, yeah, you are fine then. So you maintain concentration on your Crown o' Thorns. Then next up is going to be you. So then it's everybody else who hasn't gone yet. So that's nice. So then there's 1, 2. Well, I was meaning for the other guys. So there's 3 of them, and then it's going to be you.
How much damage did we just take?
3.
3, okay.
3 fire. So round down if you're a tiefling to 1.
Yeah.
You're resistant, aren't you?
Unless you are, I think it's Levistus who does cold instead of fire.
No, they actually still get fire.
Oh, neato.
It's super weird.
Yeah, so there are going to be 3 of them, and they are going to try and strike out against Al. As Al, you have made yourself look very scary very quickly. And one of them gets a 17 to hit.
Hits.
and will deal 4 points of bludgeoning damage as they go to try and hit you with a club. But you take half of that, so 2. And then the third one does not hit either. So next up is Flamage.
Can you give me a quick little rundown of what the battlefield looks like? We're surrounded, right?
You are surrounded. There are 5 men. There are 5 of these workers that are around the back, and then there are 3 in front of you, 1 directly in front, and then 2 on either side.
And where is Al?
Al has... You had been in the front, Al, and so you are... I believe you had stepped off the cart?
Yeah, I used the guard who hit me as a stepping stool to hop behind him.
Yeah, so he has hopped over that guard and is now in front of the cart, but not. But there is a buffer between he and you.
Okay. I am going to move to the back of the cart where there are more people, right?
Yes.
Okay. And I'm going to let's see. I'm going to take out my water skin and I'm going to start conjuring a spell, and then I'm just one drop, and I'm gonna cast Tidal Wave behind me.
Damn. Okay.
I never got to use this before. Conjure a wave of water that crashes down on an area within range. The area can be up to 30 feet long and up to 10 feet wide, 10 feet tall. Each creature in the area must make a dex saving throw. So I'm hitting as many as I can, obviously.
Okay, what's the
dex
spell
save?
save?
14.
Okay. So 3 of them make it, 2 of them do not.
Okay. So they
Bye.
pardon me. They take the bludgeoning damage, and they are knocked prone for the ones who
It's a
did not.
lot of dice.
I mean, 12, 14, 15. Bludgeoning damage and are knocked prone, and then on a successful save, creatures take half that much damage and is not knocked prone.
Okay, so how much damage was it total?
15.
15? Okay.
Thank you, RJ.
No problem.
So you see that these 5 that were at the back, as you cast this spell, they all just get knocked away. And even the ones that had succeeded on their saves bring their hands up to kind of just block whatever incoming damage they are going to be taking. But you see all of them just get knocked back and scattered onto the road, and none of them get back up or attempt to. It looks like in one fell swoop you have removed them from this combat situation.
Druids. And then I'm going to smack Pam and say, get in this fight. What are you doing? And you'll keep.
And as you do, you see that Pam is currently just shaking really heavily. You can see it's like that over salivating thing that dogs do when they get kind of nervous and they just have their hood up. And just, I wasn't prepared for this. I was not prepared for this.
You
fought plenty worse.
I wouldn't have said it. Oh, all right, I'm done.
Alrighty, so then next up is one of the guards that had fought against Albergen, or that Albergen has been laying into, and then it is going to swing out against you. And that's a terrible roll, so don't even worry about that little guy. I wouldn't worry about that little guy. And then he is going to try and swing out against you. Did against you a second time. For a 17.
Only just.
Okay. And then he'll deal 2 points of bludgeoning damage, cut in half to 1.
Ow.
Yep. More of an annoyance than anything. Then next up is the top of the round with Salazar.
I want to start sniping off the ones who were knocked prone, or just push back.
Oh, they don't seem to be moving.
Oh, okay, they're very dead.
Yeah, super dead.
Then I will draw my blade and start fighting one of the guard ones by the edge. Can I set myself up in flanking?
We don't use flanking rules, but you can set yourself up there in general.
Cool. Gotcha.
Keep going.
Then. No, it's 13.
Okay. And a 13 is just what you needed, I believe. Yeah, you're good. Make your attack.
Great. 10 damage.
Okay. That dude is looking very, very, very hurt right now. Like he's barely holding up. But
I would like to use my bonus to give Al some inspiration.
okay.
He should be easy to finish off now.
I've buttered him up for you. So then it is one of these guardsmen's turn, and he is going to strike out against Al. Al has made himself very scurry indeed. And so he gets a 23 to hit and deals 6 points of bludgeoning damage, which is reduced down to 3 because barbarians are silly. I only take half damage and I have the highest hit dice. So he's doing fine with that. Then next up is the guard that you had Crown of Madness, Salazar. And he is going to strike out against the one that is looking very, very injured indeed. And he gets a nat 1. So that's a thing. Yeah, so he does not.
This guy's useless.
You should have Crown of Madness the other guard.
All right, Al, it is your turn.
You let me know how that health is looking. Want to keep you healthy.
Looks up at him, raises his axe. In. Okay.
Is this the same one that you've been attacking for a while?
Mhm.
Okay.
Well, let's finish off your prey. 17.
All right. So 17 definitely hits. Roll for damage.
13 points of damage.
Okie dokie. Yeah, so that guy, and this is the one that you've been like relentlessly attacking.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, he goes down. He was not looking too hot before all of this, but you slice him in twain. And it kind of goes from like shoulder to midsection where you just see it do like you bring your axe down, you feel you guys watch as like the mist kind of parts behind from the force that the blow did as the dude just as he just sort of like schlorps in half onto the ground.
And I'm gonna hop back 5 feet where the cart is out of range, but everyone else is still in range, and use my bonus action to deal 3 fire damage around me.
Nice. Alrighty, so the 2 guards that were at the front will take that damage. So that was your turn. Next up is Flamage.
Oh, everyone's not dead yet?
No, there is currently one guard who is looking very injured, and then there's another one that still has this like crown over its head that you would know.
I thought I took down a guard.
Yeah, there were 3 guards total.
Oh, there's 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's 2 now. But yeah, one of them is down.
Okay. I mean, you guys have this pretty well handled, so I'm just gonna sit back and wait for someone to, if they need me. I'll hold my action in case something comes close to me. Then I'm gonna smack it with my sickle.
Okay, sounds good.
I've done my work. I've done a lot of work, okay?
This
I've
is
done the
very on brand. I want you to know I'll be noting how on brand this is.
And Salazar, it is your turn.
I make a note in my book about how on brand it is. And then I smack the guard.
Do it.
That is not gonna. That's 10.
No, 10 barely misses. But it is that guard's turn, and he's going to take a defensive action against you. Seeing as you tried to strike out against him, he is going to strike out back.
Can I cutting words?
Yes, you can. Okay. So he originally got a 21 on the dice, so your cutting words reduces it by 13?
By 11.
By 11. Okay, so does
I think it's just roll a d20 and I reduce it by that much, from what I understand so far.
I have not played a
I
bard.
don't think so. I think
I thought it was like a
a
D4.
Yeah.
Oh, it's roll a bardic inspiration die.
Okay.
They say I can use a bardic inspiration, roll the die, and subtract the number, and I didn't mentally connect the bardic inspiration to die.
It's okay. It's 5:38 in the morning here.
Yes.
So reduce that by 7 instead.
Okay. So does a 16 hit you?
Yes.
Okay. So then he is going to deal 2 points of bludgeoning damage, but make a Constitution saving throw to maintain your Crown of Madness.
You can't do this to me! Oh, you did it anyway. 11?
Yeah, that is what you needed, so that is definitely fine. So that was its turn. Next up is the Madness Crown Guard, who is going to get a 23 to hit the other guard.
He gets there for value.
And he deals 3 points of bludgeoning damage to this other guard, and that other guard looks very upsetty. So next up is going to be Al.
What's the enemy count right now?
There are 2, and one of them has the Crown of Madness on it.
Okay. I'm gonna huck my great axe while screaming tomahawk.
Okay. I'm down for it.
I'm gonna use my inspiration. Hey! It went from a 1 to a 20.
Amazing.
Oh no. Okay.
I'm so happy.
I'm so happy. Oh, that's so shite. 8 points.
Okay. So yeah, you yell out tomahawk and just hurl your great axe, and you just see this great axe sink into this guard as he just falls and collapses onto the ground from the force of this great axe just taking him out. And you see that the guard that had its Crown of Madness on then goes over to that one, brings up its club, and he just starts bashing down as you had told him to strike out against the other guard. So he's just going and just kind of squashing it. But you would know that your Crown of Madness only lasts for a minute. So what are you guys doing with this last guard?
Why don't you just chop him while he's having fun?
Walks over, grabs the great axe, spins it over, and headsman decapitation.
Okay. Yeah. So I'm totally fine with that because he won't attack you guys while he has the Crown of Madness on. So you just each kind of take your turns just getting rid of this guard. And at that point, you see Pam is just hood up, just hands over her head, just kind of shaking a little bit, doesn't really want to deal with this situation at all.
I pull a boiled egg out of my pocket and I give it to them.
Take it greedily, and then just start eating this egg, and it almost seems like this is a comfort food for them. And they say that they're just going to stay in the cart in the back and make sure that that nothing bad happens to the horse or any of your guys' stuff, and they're willing to stay in the back for you guys. So you begin making your way forward past these guards, unless you guys wanted to investigate more on these bodies to find out, to potentially gaze upon some anatomy and find out what exactly happened here.
How many of these match descriptions that I have?
They all match descriptions, except for the owner of the place.
So that's the 8 total.
Yeah.
Oops.
Did we do something wrong here? I mean, we
No.
picked us.
I
Listen,
don't think there was any recovering this. I think we maybe need to put an end to the root cause that's possibly in that building.
Listen, we haven't done anything wrong because no one has told us we did anything wrong.
Fair enough.
Make medicine checks while you guys are kind of standing around here.
Oh, this process was totally reversible.
Nat 20.
Nice.
Just 15.
Well, you're my favorite.
I'm not trying.
Okay. So with the 20 and the 15, you guys see, kind of gazing down at these bodies, that these lacerations that they had in the back of their skull, you can see that there is an opening that's about the size of a small fist. That's kind of placed in the back of these, and kind of looking in and angling these heads. You actually don't see anything inside of their skull. It looks like the brain has just been completely removed.
Oh, yes. No, there was no recovering. They are dead. They were dead when we got here.
Yeah, that answers that question.
They have no brains. Anywho, let us continue on our path. We have another engagement to perform.
Yep. So you guys make your way going to this winery, and as you approach, there is a large open loading dock that you guys can see approaching it, as well as what looks to be a door off to the right hand side from where this loading dock is, that would lead deeper into the house.
Are we still within the realm of knocking?
No, well, it's always good to be polite.
Regine pulls out his axe, knocking.
No.
I go knock on the front door.
Okay. Yeah, so you knock on the front door, and you wait a minute, 2 minutes. Do you knock again?
Yes.
Okay. So after about 5 minutes and having knocked several times, and it's kind of awkward, just like, have you ever just stood in front of somebody's door, just, I knocked, opens? It's like that, and it seems like it goes on for a little bit longer than you were anticipating, until eventually you hear the door just, and you see this white-haired individual with eyes that look like they are just sort of like gazing past you, with little crow's feet coming down from the side, that you would recognize this to be the owner of the winery. And he just looks at you and says, "We're not hiring."
Hello, sir. I'm not actually here looking for a job. I'm a local author, and I was doing some interviews in the area about the local town, and I was told that this was a winery of some renown, and I was hoping that I could speak to the owner and interview them.
We're not hiring.
I didn't say anything about needing a job.
I'm gonna reach forward, grab him by the collar, and pull him out and check the back of his head.
Okay, make a athletics check.
Oh. 24.
Okay, yeah, so you, with your 24, you pull him out, and you can see that there are lacerations on the back of this owner's head as well that give way to that hole in the back where you can see the brain has been removed.
Oh, that's just unfortunate.
Yep, and I throw him on the floor and raise my boot.
Okay.
No?
Up. Boot it up. Boot it up.
Make an attack roll.
Cave that skull in. 23.
Okay. Yeah, roll for damage.
Oh, wait, no. Unarmed strike, right?
Yeah. This would be
Cool.
1
So-
plus strength.
3.
So yeah, you step against it, and you can feel that there is some cracking in the skull as it caves in a little bit. And you hear muffled from the dirt, We're not hiring.
One more.
Why not just chop his head off?
See, this is why you get so dirty. You are stomping his head. Well, there's no brains, but it's still the dirt and the gore is It's not our fault that you get dirty all the time.
Honestly, I'm just feeling slightly bothered by the muffled talking while you're stomping his head in.
It's just a death cry.
Oh my god.
Oh, Gwen would love you.
All right, so I'm gonna say make another attack roll.
Advantage because he's prone.
Yeah.
Right? 16.
Okay, yeah. So you hit this guy. Roll for damage again, or your damage is the
3.
Yeah. So make another attack roll.
Jesus Christ. 17.
Yeah. So yeah, after he takes that, so you've like stomped on his head for a good like 30 seconds or so until eventually you see the body just stop moving. As there's just this caked mash on the ground.
I walk over to the house and I put my boot to the rug and just start scraping it.
Gross. Okay.
No. God, so my. Just you do not.
What?
That was a nice hug.
No, like the welcome mat.
Yeah.
I'm being civil.
Yeah, and so you guys see that the door is just opened in front of you.
Well, let's go see what's having fun with our friends here.
All right. So yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you
What are
guys
you
go
doing?
and look inside of this building. Ugh. And you are you're looking around, having gone in the front, and you can see that there are 2 tables that are set up on the left-hand side, and then there is what looks to be a stack of wood logs that are on the right side, as well as a double door that seems to lead into another room.
Is it a nice house?
Oh, Panda!
Panda!
Hello!
Oh,
Welcome.
I'm so sorry, I fell asleep.
That is A-okay. You came at a good part. So I can rearrange this dealio real quick. So
Describe your character while he's doing this.
yes. So Pam, currently what we have had you do in your absence is that you stayed with the cart because you were trying to make sure that you were not charged for putting your cart in an actual stable. You stayed on it so that way you could tell the guards that it was simply in idle mode the entire time and that you were totally waiting to pick somebody up. And then you had fallen asleep while eating some hard-boiled eggs. And then in the morning, you guys were carted. You guys were going over towards the winery when you were ambushed by a bunch of these weird, brainless creatures, who had just started attacking them, and you had kind of just been like, no, and stayed back with the cart. But your vigor seems to have been reestablished, and you can go and rejoin your party members. As they are all standing outside of the winery, as you have just seen Albergent send a guy to a curb party, it looked like. Like, this dude opened up the door, Albergent grabbed him, pulled him down onto the ground, and just started mercilessly stomping on him.
they're zombies, I promise.
They don't have brains.
They're zombies,
Just
I
for
promise.
clear. You know them.
Ah, yes, Salazar say.
So, Pam, would
I
you like
like
to would you
killing
like to
things.
describe your character for the audience?
I am playing a red kobold. What does she look like? She is wearing just sort of simple beige browns, and she has quite a couple of scars piled up on her body, and that's about it.
Alrighty. Sounds good. So, you guys are then going into this winery and looking around. There seems to be another room that goes in from this entryway. And as you guys approach that room, you can see that there is a staircase that leads up. That is a stone spiral staircase, as well as another door that extends deeper into the winery. And this seems to be the cask room or the loading room, as you see that there are roughly about 16 large casks of wine that are all of various different make and models.
I'm just saying, since there's no one here, no one can tell us not to take these.
You are not wrong. I think that the man who owned this place has now passed on. So I think that it might be okay to dabble.
Wasn't that the job anyway?
Well, I guess if we don't get these back to our patron, we won't get our year of free wine. Is this our free wine?
It could be our free wine.
Are you going to carry it? Because I'm not going to carry it.
We have a cart.
I'm not going to carry it to the cart.
We have an aubergine.
And you guys know that there is actually a cart loading dock, as this place had been an exporter of wine, and that was a very large open room that you guys could have wandered into, but instead you had knocked on the front door and called out the owner of this business.
Shall we head upstairs and make sure that's clear before we explore too much more?
We could say that the job has been done.
Yeah, but there's something else here, and I'm kind of curious now. I mean, I've got to have some sort of resolution to this this tale.
More killing. That's fine with me.
Right.
I'm a man of simple needs.
No tension if we never find out who made the zombies.
Couldn't you just have it at a cliffhanger, and they loaded the wine into the cart and drove off into the sunset?
No, that's boring. No one would read that.
It's very cliche.
You have an audience. Of course they'd read that.
Yeah, I have an audience who expect me to write quality content, and I expect the same of myself.
He is a content creator, sir.
He's really just doing this for the exposure.
Oh, no! No, never for the exposure. So yeah, are you guys going up the stairs or going deeper into the winery?
I believe we were going upstairs.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you guys go upstairs, and as you do, you see that there is a door directly to your right, and then there are two doors that are still closed that are also further along this hallway, seeming to be at 10-foot intervals or so, until it gets to the end of this hall, and you can see that there is a door that is slightly ajar, and then a hallway that goes off to the left.
Which one is it, indoor? A door or a jar?
Both? What if I told you it was a door in the shape of a jar?
My God.
I would guess it's an alchemy workshop.
But yeah, so there are 3 closed doors on your right, and then the one at the very end of the hallway is slightly ajar.
By the way, Pam, I am glad that you have decided to join us on this adventure. I thought you were going to pass out from eating too many hard-boiled eggs again.
They're good hard-boiled eggs.
Are they even salted, or are you just eating them plain?
It's good to eat hard-boiled eggs.
You didn't answer the question.
Ugh.
Beautiful.
Salted pork, the way to go.
Shall we start down the line?
How about we all take a door and we open it at the same time?
Ooh, I do like the sound of that.
Okay.
Alright, you 3 take the doors, and then I will wait, and we can go to the one at the end.
Alrighty. So yeah, you guys go up against these doors, and you all get ready to push them open. As you do, you look inside, and you can see that there is one room that looks to be like it was a dining room at some point. And then there is the other two rooms look like they were bedrooms that have not been used in quite some time. They just sort of seem to have a lot of dust on them. As you kind of get the gist that maybe the person wasn't necessarily, like the previous owner wasn't necessarily sleeping in this location. And then the third room is also, that seems to be another bedroom that is also there, but the door was just kind of left open. And this, you see that there actually was, it looks like something potentially was sleeping here.
I would like to investigate that room.
Yeah, sure. So make an investigation check, and anybody who is investigating this room can do so as well.
I'm gonna stand guard at the door.
Excellent.
10.
Okie dokie.
11.
All right, so 10 and 11. So looking around, you end up finding what looks to be a long metallic rod that has a lot of what looks to be a lot of strange carvings on it. That look to be very segmented. Like it'll be a length of straight line that then juts off into another kind of sharp corner around it. And you can see that there is what looks to be a bluish purplish almost button at one end.
Can
I
I
don't
make
know what this is at
an
all.
Arcana check?
Okay, yeah.
I know what it is. I totally pocketed it last time we ran across one and never used it. Tifa.
That's 17.
Okay. Yeah, this isn't giving off any kind of arcane aura that you would recognize immediately. It doesn't seem to be and the carvings that in it don't look very arcane in nature. This almost looks like you as a player would know that this looks almost more like how circuitry is set up versus how runes are set up. This looks very segmented, very much like it's more of a functional piece.
I have absolutely no clue what this is.
It is not arcane in nature?
Not any kind of arcane magic I've seen.
Push the button.
Don't push the button. You don't know what it does.
I'll push the button.
Okay, so as you push the button, you see on the other end that these four metallic, very sharp metallic, almost blades kind of jut out from the bottom of it.
Like, do they stay out, or
Yep, they stay out.
they release when I stop pressing the button?
No, they stay out after you've pressed the button, and pressing it again, they shunk back in.
And they're just normal blades?
You see that that the blades themselves, kind of like how an X-Acto blade has that very sharp angle to them, these seem to stretch out at a flat plane, and then with a sharp angle upward, and then out again. Almost in the same way that you would expect a key to look like, but these seem to be more like blades on it.
I honestly, I press this button and I'm more confused than I was before I pressed the button.
Why do you not give it to me and I can figure out as we go?
Yeah, if you make any progress, I'd love to know.
Can I see it real quick?
I hand it over.
Average just presses the button over and over again.
Yeah, and it just...
Stop it! That sound is so annoying.
I am a man of simple needs and simple wants.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty, so what are you guys doing next? And you can see down the hallway, there is a set of stone stairs that seem to descend down.
Oh. We didn't go to the last door, right? The one that was ajar.
No, the door that was ajar was the room that it had looked like somebody had been sleeping in, and that's where you found this weird mechanism.
Okay, down the stairs we go.
Let's do it.
Okay. So yeah, you guys descend down the stairs, and as you coil down, you can see that you go down a flight, and there's another. The steps continue downward into what you would assume to be a cellar, and then leading out, there is another door that has been slightly placed ajar, and you can hear what sounds like a bubbling sound, almost.
It does not sound ominous at all.
That's sarcasm. I get it.
Yes. Why do we not send the big strong man down first?
Oh, our great muscly hero.
And are you sending him out the door that is on the level that you guys are currently on, or descending down the stairs further?
Down.
Okay. Sounds good. So yeah, Al, they are telling you to go down even further.
Yeah. Albergine like shrugs, takes out his great axe, casts light on the tip, and then walks down.
Okay. Yeah, so you descend downward, and you can see that there are that this looks like it was a stockroom at one point, but it has been heavily depleted. There are you don't see any barrels, but you can see where these load-bearing beams had kind of been placed. So that way they had been selected as markers as to where different barrels could be placed. And are you guys following Al deeper down into this chamber? All right, and you can see that it stretches about 20 feet wide, and then 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 feet forward until you see the wall kind of cinch up to where there's a 5-foot walking space to go deeper into this chamber.
Al takes a step back, puts a hand on his chest dramatically. Load-bearing beams!
Alrighty.
Should we do the giveaway on that note?
Yes, we'll do another giveaway. Who here is in chat? Oh man.
LB's in chat.
It's true. Taishiru, you're going to be the winner this time around. I don't know you, but you talk to LB like you guys are friends, so that means you're cool.
We're BFFs now.
You guys are basically bestest friends.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our 3 a.m. giveaway, which means you have won Sleeping Dogs, the definitive edition.
Jeez.
Yes, there is a load of prizes that we are going to be giving away. So I will copy that link and I will whisper it to you. I will give you the sweet, sweet nothings of prizes and codes. Prizes and codes, prizes and codes, prizes and codes.
I heavily enjoy that there is both an electrical longboard and an electrical skateboard in chat.
What?
Wow.
Really?
One of the people who was in our chat, I don't know who, I looked it up. They just have I think it's Positivity Bot, maybe?
Quite possibly.
They're streaming like code.
Oh, that's
stats,
neato.
Twitch stats.
That's rad as hell.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys make it down to the basement and you are all kind of investigating around. And then that is when you hear the sound of what you would assume to be very heavy, very labored breathing. Just...
I have never heard load-bearing beams make that noise before.
And that is when you guys hear it coming from behind you. And you hear, well, what do we have here? And you guys turn around, and standing in front of you, you see a very, very nasty man. that has purplish colored skin, long tendrils coming down from its mouth, and it seems to be wearing just this these dark cloth armor with what looks to be steel pauldrons coming from the side.
I was
very
right.
much like this
Oh no,
guy.
it's a mind player.
Yes, one of them spooky illithids.
Ooh, what a twist!
What a twist!
Expecting this. I wasn't expecting this. Oh boy, this is a bad situation.
Yeah, and looking around, you realize that the only means of escape currently is through this guy. But I would like for you guys to all roll initiative.
Dun, 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 dun. You go in the box.
Going into the bar, shame.
Remember, every time you roll your dice,
Water.
water.
Water. Yeah, water.
Sip up, brother.
20, not natural.
Okay.
Water's important.
Water's important.
Okay.
And to drink water.
All right. So, I rolled for that guy. Flamage, what did you get?
3.
Okay. And then Al got a 20. Salazar.
14.
Okay. And then Pam, what did you get for initiative?
11.
Okie dokie. So, Al, it is actually your turn first. As this creature has come down and said, well, what do we have here? But he said it in a much grosser voice that I don't want to have to do again. So, what would you like to do?
I'm just gonna spin out the battle axe, great axe, put it to my hand, drag it, electricity.
Okay. Sounds good.
And can I hold my turn to see if he makes a move after that, or?
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
You can definitely
Okay.
hold on. Alrighty. So, then it would be next up with Salazar.
I think I'm going to pull out my hand crossbow, whip out my gun, and take a shot.
Okay. Sounds good.
It's going to be an 11.
Okay. An 11 does not hit. And as the crossbow bolt gets near it, it just lifts its hand up as the bolt just stops right in front of it, and then it just motions with its hand down as the bolt just falls to the ground.
Oh god, that's terrifying. Ow, kill it!
All
I
right.
have been ordered to kill.
Pam, it is your turn. What would you like to do?
Inspiration.
I will spend the 2 actions I have just going up and just 1, 2.
Okay. Do it. Roll to attack.
Right.
Scrappy little cobalt bug.
11 and a 13.
All right. So
A 6. So
an 11 and a 13 will not hit. So it seems to avoid getting punched once more. So that was your turn, and then it is this thing's turn. And it sees you directly on it. And so what it is going to do is that it is actually going to extend its hand out where you are in front of it, as well as Salazar is in the back. And as it raises its hand, you see a crackling of energy from its palm as a lightning bolt shoots out towards the two of you. So I need you both to make dexterity saving throws.
Both Pam and Salazar?
Yes.
Okay.
10.
Okay. So 10 is not going to be enough. Salazar, what'd you get?
I said 17.
Okay, 17 will be enough to save, so you'll take half. So that is So a total of 27 damage.
Oof.
So taking half, you'll take 13. But Pam, you have been hit with this large bolt from this guy, which, Al, you have seen him now be aggressive towards your friends, so that is yours.
Run for the hill. Dash up to him, raising electrified great axe, swing down hard as I can.
Okay.
Yeah. 5, 6, 7. 20.
Okay. 20 will hit. Roll for damage.
This one. 12 plus 12 slashing plus 2 lightning. 14
Okay.
total.
Sounds good. All right, so then next up is Flamage. And you've seen this thing throw out a bolt of lightning and then get attacked by your friends.
I do not like this thing. I do not like it at all. But I'm going to. Okay, I'm going to reach out my hand, grabbing from my bag some root, and I'm going to sprinkle it. And I'm going to cast haste on my good friend Al.
Oh, shit. That seems pretty good. Because next up, Al, it is your turn, and you are now have the advantage of a haste spell on you.
Which means I get a bonus action. Or, yeah, it's basically like a...
What does haste? Read us the haste.
Choose a willing creature that you see within range. You get a +2 bonus to AC. It has advantage on dexterity saving throws, and it gains an additional action on each of its turns. It can be used as an attack, dash, disengage, hide, or use an object action.
Okay, cool. Just gonna turn to Pam. You should get back. Rip the mask off. Radiant consumption into rage.
What does he look like under the mask?
Tell us.
Or
Very well.
Wait. Question. Is your back turned to the party so that way they can't see your face?
The back is turned to the party, but Pam can see.
Okay.
So it's actually like a very handsome humanoid face, but like there's 3 long scars that go across down this way, and like numerous smaller scars that crisscross across it.
Nice.
And when he goes into his radiant consumption form, like light starts leaking out of the scars in his eyes.
Holy shit, that sounds cool as hell.
Edgy.
Go. All right, so you are... How much are you doing?
Oh, well, first I'm gonna have to attack.
Yes.
That is 19?
Yeah, 19 hits.
Cool. Oh god, I hate all this math. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then 23 points of assorted damage.
Holy shit. Yeah. That seems pretty good. All right.
Oh, I already used my bonus action, so I can't do that. Oh no, because I just raged. So that's... And then end my turn, 3 points of 3 points of fire damage, 4 points of radiant.
Okay. God damn. Yeah, so
I was
he
built to burst.
Is looking he's looking mighty injured. Compared to what he just was from this soul hit from Al.
I'm so sorry, Pam.
Takes 7.
7. I think you're resistant to fire, so it'd be 1.
I don't think kobolds
right?
are resistant to fire.
No.
No.
Oh, sad face. Sorry.
Yep, they just kobolds. Alrighty, so then next up after Al is going to be Sal. So Salazar, what are you doing?
Gonna like, oh damn, my crossbow definitely won't work again. And that's gonna be 21.
Okay, yeah, 21 hits.
For 3 damage, I've only rolled 1
Okay.
on my d6 for crossbow damage so far.
But every
Sounds
point counts.
good. Yeah, so he takes that into his shoulder, and you just hear this as the Zoidberg tentacles in front just sort of lift up in anger at the damage that he was just dealt. So next up, Pam, what are you doing?
All right.
Fuck 'em
On both of my actions, I will attack him with an unarmed strike,
Oh,
and then I will use a Kai point to make 2 more on my bonus action.
nice. Punch him real good.
All right. I'm too tired to do math.
Man, that's how we all are at this point. I woke up at like 5:30 yesterday and then got 2.5 hour nap before this stream.
You fool.
I'm saying I'm feeling pretty good.
So there's a 22,
22 hits.
Nice.
a 25,
25 hits.
a 26,
That-
and a 23.
Yeah, all of those hit.
And what is my damage?
Sure, you can.
Shindo.
Nani?
24 damage total.
Holy shit. Okay. Yeah, so he is looking mighty hurt from all of these attacks. And it is actually going to be his turn. And so it will put its hands towards its head and close its eyes, and you can hear the rustling of what sounds like several more swarms of rats kind of climbing out of the walls towards you guys as these cranium rats fill the room. So there are 3 of those, and then he is going to open up his eyes, and you can see that there is just this vibrant, pale violet energy that comes from it, as he is going to try a mind blast. So Al, Salazar, and Pam all need to make intelligence saving throws.
Woof. Loud woof.
19 with no
All of
additives
us?
or negatives.
I got a 20.
Okay.
I think it's only the front 3.
Oh, good.
Flamage is okay, right?
Yeah, Flamage is fine.
That's why I like sitting in the back. I don't have to worry about this bullshit.
Wait, I can use inspiration on saving throws?
You sure can.
Ooh, thank God. Because I turned that 1 into a 17.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. So
Or actually 16 minus 1.
Wait, isn't Bardic Inspiration you get like a D6 or something like that?
It's just a D8.
Oh. It's a D8.
Yeah, you don't get to reroll.
I made a mistake.
Sorry.
So it's fine. It's fine.
I was like, that's a lot.
Yeah, no, where was it? No, it's critical role rules where they're like inspiration gives you whatever.
Yeah, that's a different inspiration.
yeah,
right?
Bardic Inspiration is different than regular Inspiration.
Inspiration.
Yeah.
I turned that 0 into a 4.
Okay.
Woo!
So you are going to be taking 22 points of psychic damage, and you are stunned for 1 minute.
It's fine. I'm resistant enough. 22.
How
Yeah.
are you feeling?
As you are stunned.
Understood.
As then several of these rat swarms are going to come up onto you and begin chomping and nomming down. Does a 17 hit?
Just barely.
Okay. It'd be great if, even while stunned, you're like, nope, still can't be bitten by rats.
Are you including the bonus for haste?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, because stunned, you're incapacitated, you automatically fail strength and dex saves, and attacks against you have advantage. So then, the second guy is going to get a 16 to hit.
just hits.
Okay, so you are going to take a total of 7 points.
How much did I take the first time around?
From the psychic?
No, from the first rat swarm.
From the first rat swarm, that was going to be 5 points of piercing.
Round to 2? Yeah.
While you are stunned, you can't move and you can only speak falteringly, and I do believe that would put you out of your rage. Right?
If you are knocked unconscious, or if your turn ends, if you haven't attacked a hostile creature or start since your last turn or taken damage.
Okay, yeah. So you are incapacitated and still just like. Okay, yeah. Then the second one dealt you 3 points of piercing damage, which that is fine. So Flamage, it is your turn.
Oh, buddy. What do you think, Kriegers? Do I know if Dispel Magic would help our friend at all?
Make an Arcana check.
Okay. All right, look out, Krieg. All right, Arcana is +5. Do not knock this off the table. That's 11.
Okay. So with your 11, you would believe that a better solution to this would be either a a remove curse could possibly do this, or a greater restoration, or a lesser restoration might be able to do the job as well.
Okay, I can't do that, so I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at the 2nd level on him.
Okay.
And I'm just going to shout out at him. Don't be oh, sorry, wrong voice. Don't be such a wimp. And that's the 2d8 + 3.
Okay.
I'm not wimp. You're wimp.
So I'll roll that, or you can roll that either way.
No, go ahead.
Okay. That's 6 + 3, 9.
Yay.
9.
9.
And that is my turn.
Hilariously.
I'm gonna stay in the back. Continue to be the coward.
Okay. So the next up is Al, but you are incapacitated currently.
Pass.
Yep. But then do you still deal
I still deal the radiant damage, but not the fire damage,
Okay.
because I have to use
And
my
that's
bonus action to do that.
4?
Yep.
Okay. So then Pam, you'll take 4 as well. So then next up is Salazar.
Does the sorry.
Do you still need healing?
Yes.
I need healing.
All right. I
need healing. Does the stun effect wear off at the end of my turn or at the start of my next turn?
It lasts for a minute.
What?
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Ow. It's cool. I can tank this.
I reach up and touch your elbow. We need you in this.
Okay.
It's okay. I'm a meat wall.
You're muted.
He's doing math.
30. You heal for 32.
Holy shit.
What did you just do?
4th level cure, and I rolled high. An 8, a 7, an 8, and a 6.
That's pretty good. That seems pretty strong. Pam, it is your turn.
I'm just gonna keep going at him. 2 attacks and then use a Kai point to hit him with a bonus action.
Yeah, do it.
All right, math time.
And/or do I not get a save at the end of my round or no?
It can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns. So yeah, make another intelligence saving throw. Sorry.
Damn it.
So I have to. Oh, that's him that has to do it, right?
A 10 does not do it, no.
Right. I do
Is
that.
18?
Yeah, 18 saves out.
Thank God. Mm.
Okay, and then...
Get back in there, champ.
What happened?
So what were the other attack rolls, Pam?
19, 26, 8, and 24.
So 3 of those attacks will hit.
Okay.
Pam is just using this dude's kneecaps as a like speed bag.
That is 18.
Ooh. All right. It does not like that at all.
Do elephants have knees?
Do mind flayers have knees? Yeah.
Don't be racist. Of course they do.
I thought they had
elbows.
tentacles down there, honestly.
Ugh.
They always wear cloaks. No one knows.
So it is going to...
If we win this, we'll have a chance to find out. We pull back the rope. There's more rope.
You pull back the robe, it's another illithid.
And it is going to...
Tinier one.
You see its tentacles actually lash out and go out towards Pam this time. As you have proven to be quite ferocious in your size.
Is that an attack I can cutting edge?
Yes, you can. So it gets a 13 to hit.
That does not hit.
Alrighty. You didn't need to cutting words. It tries to reach out with its tentacles, but it is unable to do so. So that means that next up we have Flamage. Oh, and the 3 rat swarms that are currently there. And they are all going to attack. They are all going to be attacking on Salazar for this. So does a 16 hit?
Yes.
What about a 13?
No.
Okay. So 16. That will be 6 points of piercing damage. Alrighty. So then it is Flamage's turn.
Are we? I for some reason keep seeing us in a cellar. What sort of area are we in?
You are in a cellar.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yes.
Both of our fights have taken place in a cellar, so I just wanted to make sure that I wasn't hallucinating. Okay. I am going to. Is it a high ceiling cellar?
The ceiling's about 10 feet up.
Okay, fuck it. I'm gonna wild shape. Nah, no, I wouldn't do that. I'm gonna do call lightning.
Okay.
So a storm cloud appears in the shape of a cylinder above everyone, and it takes up literally the whole room. Well, the whole ceiling. And then I'm going to attack the gentleman, and he needs to make a dex save.
Okay. That is a 16.
16 succeeds, so he takes half damage. All right. Sorry, I had to put all my dice away because my cat decided it was fun time. So that's 3d10 halved. So, 17 plus that's 28 halved.
Okay. Sounds good.
And that lingers.
Alrighty. So, before we go to the start of the next round, I have to use the restroom really quick because caffeine
you
is
go.
diuretic. It's great.
We shall duck amongst ourselves.
I'm gonna edit my sheet on D&D Beyond.
I realized about because we had a long rest, and I was like, oh shit, I should probably take a healing spell, and I forgot we had a bard.
Yeah, I have. I didn't take any offensive spells, which
Oh.
means that I can cast my healing spells wherever I want.
Nice, dude. I have so many spells that are not gonna work at all. I have Entangle, Thunderwave, Dust Devil, Invisibility, which is fine. Call Lightning, which is a pinpoint, so that's fine. Daylight, Dispel Magic, Tidal Wave.
Dispel Magic would have worked. You could have dispelled the Mind Blast.
No, I couldn't.
No?
No.
No, it's Counterspell. I'm
Or
thinking.
Lesser Restoration, yeah. And I have Polymorph. But all of my damage spells are this area.
Yeah.
Polymorph me into a T-Rex. Let's go.
Yeah, right?
I was trying to fight the optimizer in me when I was selecting spells, in that I was like, I know this is going to be a one-shot, so it's probably going to be more combat-focused,
Mm-hmm.
but my character would have all social spells.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the optimizer in me was like, let's do something stupid.
And you did.
Alrighty. Top of the round with Al.
Ooh.
This dude is looking very, very, very heavily hurt.
Finish him.
Hi. 11, 16 to hit.
It is actually going to bring up a hand, and as your axe is about to hit it, you see this sheen of purple energy in front of it as it uses the shield spell.
Ooh, you cheeky fuck.
So your axe does not hit.
Cool. I'm going to, and same verse as I end my turn, bonus action, Fire Radiant 7.
Okay.
Please get out of here, Pam.
Yeah, Pam, you take another 7 points of damage. You're doing fine. Sal, it is your turn.
Wait, so who takes the 7 points?
Both you and this mind flayer.
That was enough to knock me down, so thanks.
Why?
It's fine. It's fine.
This happens all the time. Literally all the time.
Oh my god. It's usually me, so... Did you take your hasted action too?
Oh, I have haste action.
Yeah.
Right. Attack.
Wait. No. Because I cast a different spell. I cast Call Lightning, and that's... Concentration?
Haste isn't concentration, is it?
Yeah.
It is?
Oh, yes.
Ooh. I'm just gonna scoop that dice away.
I'm just gonna check on in my D&D handbook, because in D&D Beyond it's not telling me that Call Lightning is a concentration, but it stays up and you can reuse it. So
I think it might be.
Call
Why do I
lightning. Is concentration up to 10 minutes?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. And then
I'm so sorry.
It's fine. It'll be fine, hopefully.
you know.
The worst part is if I try to heal Pam, she's just gonna get knocked down again. Because I heal for exactly 7 HP.
Oh, maybe you should how big's the radius?
It's 10 feet.
Oh.
I can move up the stairs.
GTFO, dude. Yeah, hit me. Thanks.
I thought you were behind us because we got down.
You guys
into
had
the
come
cellar.
all the way into this area, and then this mind flayer has been blocking the stairwell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. Okie dokie.
Alrighty, so then that was Al's turn. Next up, Salazar.
You're muted.
Does this mind flare look on the edge?
He looks very, very, very badly injured. Yes.
Mind flare, more like mind fired.
Did you just cutting words? What did you just do?
Vicious mockery.
Just
vicious
dramatic.
Oh.
That's gonna be 20?
20 just hits. Roll for damage.
8.
Okay. So yeah, he lets out a shrill mouth sound as comes from his isopod kind of mouth. He's not having it. Not having a good day. Next up is Pam, so make a death saving throw.
That was a 17.
Okay, that's a success. You're good on that end. So then it is the Mind Flayer's turn. And the rats are now going to be biting out against Flamage, as you have proven yourself to be a powerful spellcaster.
That's me. That's me.
So does a 21 hit? Okay.
Yes, it does.
So that is going to be 5 points of piercing damage. Make a Constitution saving throw in order to maintain concentration on your Call Lightning.
Okay. Constitution. I roll a yes. 11.
Okay. So the second attack is going to come at you, and that's a 19 on the die.
Definitely hits.
So then you are going to take 6 points of piercing damage. So roll again.
16 plus 2.
Okay, that's fine. And then the final attack is going to be a 17 on the die for a total of 8 piercing damage.
Okay. Well, I don't remember what the first two were. Oh no, that's a 5. How much damage did I take on the first two?
On the first two, you took 6, and then you had taken 5, I think. I'm bad at recalling numbers right now.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I lose concentration on the cloud.
Okie dokie.
It disperses.
All of our storage. No.
So then this creature is going to attempt to cast a spell onto Al. So, Albertine,
Oh boy.
I am going to need you to make, I believe, a wisdom saving throw. Just need to check really quick. Dagyo. Yeah, so make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. 15.
Okay. A 15 is just enough as you feel the effects of a dominate monster spell wash over you. But you manage to shake it off. So you are blessed on this day. Flamage, it is your turn.
Me, you said?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on my little kobold friend.
I'm not a little kobold friend.
I don't care about you.
It has to happen in at least one campaign.
I know, right? Yeah, I'm gonna cast it at 2nd level, so you're gonna do 2d8 plus trace. Do you want to roll it, or do you want me to roll it, Panda?
You roll.
Okay. You should have rolled it. 6 plus 3, so 9.
Okay. Rad.
And I'm going to freak out about what's going on at my feet. Unless, nope, it's an action. Never mind. That is what I've got.
All right, so Al, it is your turn.
Gonna give this the good old reckless.
Before we go into that though, what does the haste? What happens when the haste spell is removed?
Oh, right. It he gets 1 point of exhaustion. I think. Hold on. Let me look it up. And that's the hard part about these one-shots is like, there's all these things that I can do. I don't know what any of them do. When the spell ends, the target can't move or take an action until after its next turn.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
What are you doing? Oh, he's scratching at
Yikes.
Okay. Sorry.
Al, you are unable to do anything during this turn as this is post-exhaustion.
That's fine.
Yeah.
He still takes 4 radiant damage, though.
Okay.
I too take 4 radiant damage, which keeps my rage up. Oh no, Panda!
No, it's all right. Pam's at 3 right now. I believe. You're somewhere close to that. But, Pam, it is your turn.
GTFO.
Stomach. That's a scary noise.
I'm just gonna hit him again. Use a Kai point to get more attacks in.
The scrappy little kobold.
That's so much on this thing.
Pam, I promise I'll heal you. Just keep punching.
I hate these dice. So it's an 8, a 9, a 17, and a 22.
All right, so it is going to try and raise a shield spell again on this turn, so only one of your strikes are going to get through, but roll for damage.
All right, 8.
Okay. How do you want to slay this Mind Flayer?
Yes! I just imagine that I'm able to see just the right weak spot in his shield, and I jump up and I punch right through it.
Nice.
And get him right in the face.
Nice. So yeah, you punch him, and like it's normally you would expect there to be some bone or something preventing his face from like concaving in with your punch, but really like this creature from the far realms does not play by the same rules as the material plane creatures, so you actually feel your fist sink into his face as you definitely scramble his brains with a single punch. As this creature kind of drops onto the ground, and at that point, all of the rats that were surrounding you all end up just sort of collapsing onto the ground, seeming no longer to have the mental connection that they had with this illithid creature. And that is where you guys are going to exit combat. And as you... And it takes you a little bit to kind of really get an understanding of what's been going on here. And as you look around, you end up finding not only just kind of spare items lying around, but you also end up finding a deed to this winery. Just a title of land ownership, as there doesn't seem to be really anybody stopping you guys from just kind of rifling through and looting the place. And you know that the contract that you guys were on was to just reestablish a shipping route, and as such, you would be getting free wine for a year. So if you guys would like to take over this winery as your own and then reestablish... Oh, Barry, thank you so much! And then reestablish the trade route with Lady Mornshine. You definitely can going forward this way. And also looking outside, you see that the landscape itself, within the 3/4 mile that you guys had kind of adventured into the woods and then found this winery, as you exit the building, it looks like the landscape has completely changed from where you guys were in it before. And you can see that a lot of these plants have kind of withered away and died, that there are a lot of trees that there is actually a series of trees that extend along the eastern side of this winery that have kind of been parted out, and you can see what looks to be a giant divot in the ground that kind of expands outward for a good 150 feet before you see what looks to be a large metallic structure that is just planted into the ground. And upon investigating it, once you look around inside, you can see that this is more of that there are control panels that are set up. You can see that there are monitors and screens and a bunch of other mechanical things that sort of seem to be active inside of this mechanical pod that looks large enough that it could hold roughly 5 or 6 people. But you don't see any way of starting this or any way of really getting this off the ground. And you can see that there have been a lot of ramshackle repairs made to the outside, where pieces of metal and armor have kind of been plastered onto the sides to create a better sealant. And Salazar, I would like for you to make an insight check. Muted.
15.
Okay, so 15, you see that there is a spot on this console that looks like it has 4, what look to be like 4 little slat openings in it. And as you press the button and jam it in, you turn this rod counterclockwise, and as you do, you actually see this pod begin to illuminate and come to life as it begins to kind of just thrum with this loud noise, and as a pale purple light just sort of seems to emanate from it. What would you guys like to do?
It's science.
Someone talk me out of getting in this pod.
I raise my axe.
No, don't break the pod.
But
You said talk you out of it.
we don't know how to go. We don't know what it is. I don't like it. It doesn't run by magic, I don't think. Does it run by magic?
But what better adventure than getting in the pod and having to find my way home?
Nope. You are welcome to do that. I am okay with
How about a story about a civil war?
What?
I haven't experienced one of those.
Well, we could use the winery as a foothold and gain some people. Let's form an army.
Make our own civil war. Damn it.
No, we could go back to my place and kill all the nobles that
Well, but what if this pod gives us some sort of advantage in that quest? I get it.
I hate you so much. Albertine says as he's stepping into the pond.
Don't. Panda, tell me this is not a good idea, right? I'm not.
Get in the pod,
sorry.
losers.
We're going shopping.
I rifle through
I was
Salazar's-
gone for what, a day?
Yeah.
And you guys are already falling apart.
Alrighty, so you're all hopping in the pod.
Reluctantly.
I grab
guess.
Flamage by like the collar and yank him in.
All right.
I'm not mad at you guys, just disappointed.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Alrighty, so as you guys get into the pod, you see that there are a lot of consoles ready, and you just begin pulling levers just left and right, hoping that something will work. And after about 10 minutes of just throwing levers and knobs, you hear what sounds like a feminine voice coming from over the surrounding area. Barry, thank you for the bits. That just says, initializing sequence beginning in 10, 9,
What did you
8,
do?
7,
Oh boy, here we go.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin. As you see the glass screen that was kind of placed in front of you, that reality just sort of begins to fade away, almost like when Thanos snaps his fingers and everything turns to dust. Like that kind of thing happens in front of you. But you see with God damn it, you see that this part of reality just begins to fade away, and then it begins to shift and swirl, and it almost begins to kind of go into this almost what looks like a tornado, just this eye of the storm kind of thing. And you see that there's lightning crackling beside. You see see all sorts of things just passing by you. And you can feel the entirety of this container just shaking as it looks like stars and planets and everything that is around you is just flying right by. And then you get jutted out and you kind of float for a little bit, and then you begin to land until your vessel lands on hard, solid ground. And as you open this door, you can see what look to be houses. What looks to be like a very long house that has a series of multiple doors on it. And looking around, there are these long metal carts that just sort of seem to be placed around. And the ground that you look down on is just this very black, rocky material that just sort of seems to expand outward. And you can hear what sounds like a very quick rushing noise, and you look over and you see one of those metallic carts just kind of zip by. And you feel a draw towards you. And you kind of look around, and you aren't really sure what it is that's going on. But you kind of get pulled to one of these doors. And instinctually, you just knock on the door, Salazar, as you have many, many, many times. And you hear coming from inside just, hold on just a second. Gotta get this fucking cat. And then you see, you open up the door and you see that there is a human standing in front of you with long brown hair, holding a black cat in one hand, wearing a purple shirt that says "Stream like no one's watching." And he just looks at the four of you and says, "Oh, that's awesome. We're about to start. You guys want to come on in?" And you like poke your heads inside of the door, and you see that there is just this large table set out with what looks to be a red screen kind of placed onto a table, and there are 4 chairs that have been pulled out with different paper sheets set around. And
I don't know how long I've been waiting to do this.
and that is where we are going to end the first of our Extra Life adventures, which is in my own goddamn house. So all of you players, all of you awesome characters get to play D&D with me now, so this is great.
Oh my
Is that the
God.
shark underneath of us? Oh, we
What
fucking did.
He looks outside, my fucking car! Like,
Oops.
all right, but I wanted to say thank you to Reeves for subscribing with Twitch Prime.
Thanks,
Yeah,
Buddy.
thanks. And I wanted to say thank you to everybody who has decided to give us a follow and come by and watch this amazing adventure. We've gotten 5 people to follow so far. And if you are new to our stream, for every new follower that we get, we are donating $1 towards the Extra Life charity campaign. So if you are in a financial hardship and you can't donate with your own money, let us donate for you. All you need to do is press the little heart button on top and let us know how we are doing. But that is it for this session. We are going to take a 5 to 10 minute break, and then some of us, myself and RJ, are going to be back with PB Plays Inside, Damn It Barry, and Greybeard's Tavern as we go into a new tabletop RPG system that PB Plays Inside has been perfecting called Band Battles. So if you want to see me play as a stand-up bassist who wears corpse paint on his face and calls himself Bone Daddy, that is the game for you. But damn it, Barry, what have you done? You gifted a sub to PB. That's amazing.
Wow.
Thank you. Who else is in chat right now? Who else is here? LB. LB, you're gonna win this next prize. You wanna know you win?
Can I do that?
You're in chat, and we're switching game systems. It's legitimately anybody who's in chat. You have won a Dead Rising 4.
Oh God, is that a zombie game?
Yes.
That's a Zambo game.
All right, guys, tune in to my channel to watch me pee my pants playing Dead Rising 4.
Boom.
It's fun.
All right, I sent you.
It's a horde mode zombie game.
Oh, even better.
Kind of thing.
Yeah, if you would choose, if you do not wish to redeem your code, we can maybe change some die rolls here in the next upcoming game. As I
We'll
like,
see.
I like
Beacon, Bane, or
this.
Boone.
So,
I think it'd be-
let's give quick little shout outs to all of our wonderful players. Thank you, RJ, for sticking with us. You're gonna be with me all goddamn day.
You're crazy. You have to
LB,
work tomorrow.
LB, go take naps. Panda, I know that you had fallen asleep before the stream. Now you can go to sleep for real and not worry about it. Or you could just.
I tried so hard to stay up.
You shouldn't have stayed up. You should have stayed up.
I did, but then I fell asleep.
No, you should have gone to sleep at 6 p.m. so you could wake up at.
I didn't. I had a game.
Don't listen to these chumps. You did fine. And then Reeves, you were going to be back on. No, this is the only game that you were able to play today, isn't that right? Yeah, but you can catch myself and Reeves's antics on Wednesday as we talk about chicken nuggets and the Neverwinter MMO. So we will see you guys in 5 to 10 minutes. Don't go no place. All right, everybody. See you soon.
Bye.